All right, hello, welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We are back to playing Call of Cthulhu this afternoon, evening, night, whenever you're watching this later on VOD. And people are worried. They're worried because some people got shot, and they might get shot again tonight. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Everyone raise your hand if you got shot. Go ahead and raise your hand really quick. Okay, that's a Pastor Wood hand. That's a Patrick Price hand. Okay, if you got shot at, go ahead and raise your hand as well. Marie, you can go ahead and put your hand up. Okay.
I did.
Right. Anyone who nearly went batshit crazy on a strange spiral down investigative processes, go ahead and raise your hand. Marie, you can do that as again. Well. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, it really looks like Shima's the only one who's actually doing okay. Everybody else is pretty fucked. Let's be honest.
That golden retriever energy, it just keeps her untouchable.
It really is.
That's really what does it.
Yep. So we've got a couple people. We had Marie and Beverly had some trouble with their sanity. Pastor Wood and Patrick Price had some trouble with bullets trying to enter their flesh. Pastor Wood tried to feed a guy to a plant because he didn't understand the scale.
I didn't try. I succeeded.
You still don't fully grasp the scale of the mouth, but that's
no. It had little chunks of it.
It ate him. Like, oh, shared.
You said it ate him whole.
Hmm? Just swallowed them all. Have you seen the? I'm going to ask this of everybody. Who here has seen Little Shop of Horrors? Anybody? Okay, my turn.
I have not.
Stephen, yeah.
We have two hands going up. We're doing a lot of hand raising, which is
I'm
sad
calling
for the
it out.
podcast.
I said it. I'm saying it.
He did say raise your hand at first.
I did, and I'm announcing who's raising their hands. I know what I'm doing, Melissa. Jeez. All right. Anyhow, you should all go watch the show. It's really good. It's really good. Rick Moranis, Steve Martin. It's fantastic. Anyhow, why don't we go ahead and do some character intros, and we'll figure out who we're going to say goodbye to tonight. So, starting with Pastor Wood. Steven, please.
Welcome, brothers and sisters. I'm Pastor Zephaniah Wood. I am a man of the law. I prioritize Old Testament law, of course, Lord our Father, but I was a practitioner of Texas law for quite some time as well, and I will enforce both versions of the law as I see fit.
Never mind. I'm not going to cause trouble. Never mind. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for your introduction, Stephen. That was well said. Next up, Melissa, tell us about Marie.
Marie was a jazz singer who went by Sissy May. And jazz singing was so much fun. And there have been parts of LA that have been interesting and kind of, fed into her, kind of drive for creativity and things like that. And then there have been other parts of LA that have been just downright dadgum scary, like last session. And she's kind of lost her mind.
Remember when you first went on the Midnight Duchess and I was like, hey, come sing some stuff with me. Hey, come sing. And you were like, no. Don't you kind of regret not just engaging with that a little bit more? The same.
All of the fun that could have been had, and now it's just running around like a person that's lost a few of their marbles and driving a car like a person that's still in the process of losing their marbles, and someone's life might be slightly in their hands.
And we know how car driving works on this channel. You drive a car, you roll over down the side of an overpass. Like that's just what happens, right? Happened last night, Delta Green, spoilers. Happened in Werewolf. It's just a thing that happens. That's the new 1930s it's the cars. New severed arm, right? So we need to somehow get a rollover emote. I don't know how to do that, but we got to write that in your note session. There you go.
We even had a car crash on this on this campaign.
That's true.
That's right.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah,
in Savannah. Right. Yeah. Excellent. Okay. All right. I'm starting to wonder if I'm working through some trauma when I was a kid that I don't really know about.
Have you been in a car crash, Jeff?
I have, but nothing too serious, thankfully. It was minor. It was a long time ago.
Hey, that trauma can stick.
But I sometimes ride in the car with Melissa, so more than likely it's going to happen at some point. This is me criticizing her driving, in case you're wondering. Tales of Myth and Mayhem, thank you very much for the raid. Hopefully your Call of Cthulhu one-shot went well. If you haven't yet followed our friends over at Tales of Myth and Mayhem, please do. They're running some awesome Call of Cthulhu stuff on their channel as well, just before ours, and they're friends of ours. So do it. Thanks. Next up, Maitre, tell us about Shaima.
Shaima is your student researcher who is 6'3" and built like a linebacker. And I've been trying to figure out like a succinct way to describe her. And I think last week I finally arrived at it. She is the anti-face. Is what Shaima is. Because her whole approach is just not being able to control herself at all. In the way Maria, Bev, or anyone else is. She's just, she's kind of over the top, I think. Okay.
A different kind of Jeff would make a gross joke right now about what the anti-face actually is. But I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
I also
Jeff's
think
taking the high
Shaima
road today.
is the like
Because
could be the
we're all
face.
gonna die. Like,
It's been a week.
that's what
It's been a week.
This is.
I told you,
this
Steven.
is preemptive
I've had a rough
guilt.
week.
You got to take the high road so that you can careen into the low road.
Mm-hmm. The higher I take you, when you do eventually crash the vehicle, the more the fall damage is going to be. Right.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
There we go.
Oh my
There we
no.
go. Fantastic.
And if a 1930s car falls on top of you, those things were built like tanks. So that's going to hurt even more.
Plus, we should probably check. I don't think seatbelts. We'll say no seatbelts. No seatbelts, no airbags, and all that kind of stuff. So you're just like flopping around inside there. It's not so good. All right. Next up, Ashley, tell us about how Bev is doing.
You know, is a little upset, I think it's safe to say. She stepped away from possibly one of her greatest discoveries. Because
For now.
Exactly. You know, I could learn additional. Stop.
I love doing that face. I really do.
I know you do. But yeah, so I mean, she does have additional books at this time that she can study to try and help soothe that wound. But yeah, that's kind of where she's at. There's a little bit of disappointment that she did have to leave this behind for this other professor to maybe uncover before she does.
Yeah, she's totally going to discover it. She is totally going to discover it, get all the fame. Everything is really good. I based Dr. Elizabeth Grinley off of, did anyone ever see the movie The Saint with Val Kilmer?
I love that movie.
So
It's not a good movie, but I grew up watching it, so I'm so
it's a
nostalgic.
do you
great
remember
movie.
do you remember who the female lead was in that movie?
Elizabeth Shue.
It was Elizabeth Shue. Elizabeth Grinley is based off of what I perceive as an older Elizabeth Shue from The Saint. That's who it is.
Okay, well, you
That's
said Val Kilmer, so
awesome.
now I have to go watch it.
Mhm.
So
I mean, you can if you want. Like, it's not a great movie. It doesn't
I don't
really
care
hold
about
up
the
that
plot,
well.
Jeff.
Oh, that's
You
good.
should
Val
watch
Kilmer.
Bill and Ted's first.
Yeah, Bill and Ted's that's
before.
much better. Bill and Ted's is much better. I still love the Bill and Ted. Like, I think I had a physics class once where like we were talking about time travel and stuff like that, and we literally got to watch clips from Bill and Ted, and then we got to discuss them in our
cool.
class. Yeah, he was a very good teacher. Mr. Perry, if you're watching, good job. All right. Last but not least, of course, we've got our Patrick Price. Go ahead, Long. Tell us about Patrick.
I am Patrick Price, the man of the people, protecting others from the injustice of bad haircuts.
That boy. He's always got these. This is where I just got to always put Long at the end because he just comes like he's got the time and then he just comes so strong with something. Okay. Very nice. So now not only do we have to so Patrick gives us the outro with the whole I'll be seeing ya, and now we get the intro as well. All right. We ready to start? You guys ready to say goodbye?
Yeah.
Yes.
Last time around, we had a split party at UCLA. Bev, you were spiraling big time. You were partnering with Dr. Granley, like a biochem professor. You were studying nectar. Shaima, you went for help. You got Ed to give you a hand. The two of you learned from campus security that a pair of cops had actually taken Marie into custody when the campus security guy escorted her into the parking lot. Back at the chemistry lab, you two at least managed to halt Bev's spiral temporarily, and it left Dr. Granley behind to study the sample alone. Later, the two of you were kind of scrambling to figure out where Marie was. Bev called the local precinct, and a very, very, very nice operator informed you that Marie wasn't actually here. No one brought her in. No one booked her. No one arrested her, etc. You went back to the hotel. No sign of her. Meanwhile, while all that was happening, Patrick and Pastor Wood, you were staking out Samson Trammell's mansion all by yourselves. You were watching this carriage house from a distance, and you saw a police car arrive. And from the back seat, Trammell's guards took out someone you recognize as Marie because of the clothing, although she did have, the copyrighted hood over the head, as we do on this channel, and then escorted her inside of the mansion. Once inside, as now we shift to Marie's perspective. Marie, you managed to see that there was another person in this room that was also bound. Second story room, a man you didn't actually recognize. And you also noticed that there was a pile of naked revelers in the corner, over top of which a colorful curtain had been thrown. You were able to free yourself. Then you kind of snuck into a nearby guest room. You heard some spitting and some hissing, and then you discovered underneath the bed, built into the mattress, there was one of these gnashing, hideous mouths that tried to bite you. It lashed out at you, and you just kind of lost it at that point. You started panicking. You fled. Outside, Pastor Wood, Patrick, the two of you tried to sneak into the conservatory, but you found the door was locked, kind of slowed you down as you were trying to pick that lock. You were discovered by some of Trammell's guards. There's also another one of these mouths in this nearby tangled brush that was outside, or bush, that was outside of the conservatory. A fight ensued, started with fists and clubs, and eventually it graduated to guns. Big old shootout started going on. Patrick, Pastor Wood, you eventually caught sight of Marie, who was fleeing from the mansion at that point, onto the front lawn. And so she ran for the main street, zigzagging her way. One of the guards gave chase. The two of you sort of gave chase. And then there was a bunch of shots that happened. A bunch of people got shot. Everybody, except for Marie, got shot. You killed a couple folks. Pastor Wood, you kind of got left behind, cut off a bit as Patrick and Marie eventually reached the car. But when they drove back thinking maybe you were dead, a bleeding, bruised, and beaten Pastor Wood threw himself on the hood of Marie's car as she was driving, because that's the perfect person to drive in this situation. Kicked it back into reverse or whatever it might be, and you started to hightail it the way out of Trammell's neighborhood. We're going to go ahead. We're going to pick up in the car of Beverly and Shima. I believe, if I recall correctly, the two of you were heading towards the neighborhood, right? Because you knew that Pastor Wood and Patrick were here.
Yeah.
I think the two of you are headed there. So it's nighttime. It's just very, very early evening. Sun has gone down at this point. There's been a steady drizzle of a rain. It's not a full torrential downpour, but it does create this very kind of dark gray look. If I could have both Beverly and Shima roll a spot hidden test, that would make me so happy. What do we got?
And the spots the hidden.
Sorry, man, my computer is being funny. Just give me a second.
No worries. You want me to roll it for you? Beverly.
Okay, got it.
The fumbles continue.
Holy
Okay.
shit, man.
Lord.
16.
Okay. So who do we think is driving?
Oh, definitely not.
Okay. Bev, you are driving like an absolute lunatic. Maybe your mind's still not quite there, whatever it might be. You're going too fast. The road's wet. You hear the sounds of people occasionally honking at you. You're just kind of weaving in and out of traffic. When Shima, you notice with your hard success, on the other side, coming in your direction, you're not on like a heavily trafficked road yet. It's not like a major highway. Consider it like an access road that might kind of lead to some neighborhoods and such. Shima, you see a vehicle driving past, going the opposite direction. You can see the one of the rear windows has been shattered. And as it drives past, you catch the brief sight of Marie in her profile driving past you in the opposite direction. What do you do with that?
Dr. E, that's her. That's her. Like gestures wildly at the car.
Beverly, as you see, could you do me a favor? Could you just give me a driving test, drive auto test? I wasn't gonna make you do it, but you crit failed your spot hidden. So
Is that
a crit fail?
98 is a crit fail. So in this game, 100 on a D100 is always a fail. But if your target number is 50 or lower, then the fumble range, the crit fumble range is 95.
Got it. Okay. Oh shit. Okay. You know, I'm not using a boost.
What's your drive?
20.
I
You
would
could
feel
get
it
so
to
much better about
40.
yesterday if you almost killed me.
That is true. It was the two of you in the car last night too. It didn't even dawn on me.
Okay. I'll do 2 boosts to at least get it to 40.
I thought you were gonna be like, okay. I'm gonna try to kill Shima. That's what I thought you were about to say.
Okay,
right.
so my goal is 40.
Okay, sounds good. Give it a rip.
Another fumble. Oh my gosh. Like the math on the number of
97.
fumbles.
Hey, look, good news. It's one less than 98. Bad news. It's still in that window. Beverly, you have been driving a little bit wild. Maybe you're still not quite there. Maybe your mind is a little bit turbulent as maybe you're worried about Marie, whatever, but you also have in the back of your mind, just that discovery is right there. Shima shouts out at you, startles you out of whatever kind of trance you had gotten
like calculations, maybe.
And you turn and you look. And as you do the classic turn and your body turns with you and the car just right across the road and smashes, we'll say, into kind of like that, like we'll say there's a tree stump or a street sign nearby and smashes right in as the two of you come to a halt. Both of you can take 2 points of damage as your car smashes in. I'm not going to say it tumbles over because you guys weren't on a highway. Pastor Wood, Patrick Price, and Marie. The three of you can roll spot hidden.
To see if we notice a car crashing behind us.
It's just to see if you notice a car crashing behind you.
I don't want to roll anything.
Everything would have been fine if the spot hidden wasn't going to kill her. Drive auto might.
35 under 88. Hard success.
35.
49.
Okay, with your hard success, I'll say, Patrick, you failed pretty close.
Yeah,
though.
failed by 2.
Yeah, you're pretty close though. So I would say, even with that, you probably, after a second, hear like a weird screech and a thud behind you, and then you can turn and look. But Pastor Wood, you see it first. And not only
is that because I'm still on the hood, so I'm the one looking backwards?
No, I think Patrick pulled you. He pulled you in or something.
Yeah.
And so as you are kind of wiping blood off your face and some of the glass out of your like your hat or whatever it might be, much like Indiana Jones, you managed to keep your hat. You look up and you can kind of see that looks like Bev. Why is Bev cutting across? Oh God, Bev just crashed into a street sign.
Pull over.
And Marie didn't see anything, and so she's just sort of like sticking her head out the window like, why? We're trying to get away.
Pull over, damn it.
Okay. And
so you pull over. Okay. So now all 5 of you are at the side of the road. We'll put it like maybe 3-4 miles from Trammell's neighborhood. It is a drizzle. It is just about nighttime. Like I said, the sun is basically gone down. There are cars with headlights, so you do see some light here and there. But you're probably about maybe 100 yards from each other, we'll say.
I'll hop out of the car and run towards their crash. See if they're all right.
You run towards the crash.
Also, but probably a bit slower because I'm hurting.
As you're limping as you go. And Patrick, you get there first then. And it's around this point, Bev, Shima, as you're pulling your heads out from the wheel or from the dash, a little bit of glass like in your hair or on your clothes, like you feel like bruises maybe on a face or on an arm here or there. Patrick will say you look at the car. It doesn't look completely totaled, but you definitely can tell that the front driver's side wheel has definitely been kind of ripped out of its position, and so it's probably not going to drive. It's probably going to need a tow. But nonetheless, they do seem to be okay, as you see they're kind of coming to from the crash.
We're leaving Tremels. Come on. Doesn't look like this car's going to drive.
Doctor, are you okay?
Like, she's not really talking at this point. She just kind of throws open the door. She gets out, and she gets to like the end, and she's gonna try and like push it more out of traffic. And she's a little lady. Like, what is she doing? But that's what she's doing.
Okay,
so will help.
You help Beverly get out of the car. By the time you help her out of the car, Pastor Wood, you've now joined. And the four of you, assuming Maria's still in the other car, are on the side of the road. Every now and then a car passes, but again, it's not heavy traffic, thankfully, as something horrible could have happened as you cross traffic with your turn. But all of you are now together again.
What are you two doing? Come on. This car's not going anywhere.
We have to get our stuff out of the back. And
is Marie with you?
Yeah, she's in the other car.
I'm here.
Summer runs to the car.
And you run over and you can see her. Now, Marie looks, no offense, Melissa, very, very awful. You're dealing currently with underlying insanity, don't forget. So you're fairly fragile at this point.
Which is why she's kind of just staying in the car. Like she's kind of just like.
And when you get up to the driver's side, Shaman, you can see like she is gripping the steering wheel crazy tight, white knuckling beyond all belief right there. And she has like this faraway look in her eye, and she looks very anxious.
Miss Wayne, we were looking for you. Are you okay? Are you okay?
What?
And she reaches over and gently tries to like unclench her hands in the steering wheel. Like, just take a second, okay? Just take a second.
And she would kind of involuntarily, sort of, because she's sitting in the car and you're sort of like in the window of the car.
Yeah.
And so she is kind of, when she sort of comes to a little bit, she's going to kind of recoil a bit.
She immediately let's go. So immediately let's go.
Just get everybody. We need to get everybody. We need to go.
And Shama looks over and sees probably for the first time how fucking terrible Pastor Wood looks.
It's accumulated this whole campaign. LA's been rough on him.
We should go. Mr. Price is right. We should go.
I'll load whatever.
What do you have in the trunk that you need?
Yeah.
I think we brought like our stuff, right, Shima?
Yeah. So Patrick, you pop the hood on the trunk, and you just start grabbing bags, and you can see like it's their normal luggage. It's kind of hastily packed, probably. So maybe there's like a piece of cloth sticking out of a seam here or there, but ultimately you kind of grab everything you can, and you're able to relocate it. Some of it gets wet. Once or twice, a car slows down as it passes by. Hey there, fellas. You got a problem there? Can we lend assistance? Looks like you have some car trouble.
Yeah, everything's under control now.
You sure? You all right?
Yeah, just everyone's a bit rattled, but we're okay.
Yeah, I understand that. You got to be safety around here. People don't know how to drive when it rains out here. Quite dangerous.
Thanks for the tip.
You want us to call you a tow truck up ahead? There's a gas station not too far from here.
Oh, we got one coming.
Oh, all right. If that's the case, it sounds like you got everything under control. You all be careful. Looks like everyone's all right then.
Yeah, everyone's fine.
All right. Well, hopefully you have a safer night than you already had. Farewell. And kind of waves and drives off.
And then we got to throw the luggage in the trunk. We open it up and see that face staring right back at us. Paperweight.
Oh, the mouse, because you put the mouse in the car.
Yep. So as let's see. I think, Patrick, you would probably not require any kind of roll because you did see it already. Would anybody else have seen it when the trunk pops up? Like, would we think Shaima or Bev or Marie would have been helping load stuff up into the back of the car?
Marie's sticking in the car.
She's with Marie.
Okay,
Bev
fair
would
enough.
have been putting her stuff in the trunk.
Go ahead and give us a sanity test then, as you are not prepared for it. As there it is. There's a nasty, gnarled-looking, calcified mouth staring directly back at you.
I was trying to pull Melissa, what she was doing to us in Delta Green, showing us all this insanity stuff.
Ashley, you are just cold as ice.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, maybe if combat transpires at some point, maybe you're
my luck will turn.
Luck will turn.
Honestly,
using up all your shit rolls.
All right, so this is going to be, I'm trying to remember what I had for the sand loss for this one. Okay, it's 1d3 actually. So you failed?
I failed, correct.
All right, it's going to be 2 points of sanity loss.
Okay.
How does that look for Bev? Bev just got in a car accident. She just had this crazy day at UCLA, and you open up the trunk to put your bag of clothes and belongings in, and there's this disgusting calcified mask. What do you do?
Well, question. So I remember last I reset my sanity, but should I have done that? So
No.
I should be at 4 daily sanity, or 6 with my 2.
Okay,
so
you're all right. As long as you don't hit, you have to hit 11 for you.
I do have to fill 11. Okay.
Yeah, and then some stuff will happen if that transpires.
Okay, so I've taken 6 sanity loss so far then today.
Yeah, so it's basically a daily thing, but it's not so much just like the 24-hour period. It's one of those things where you have to like be in safety and you can calm down a bit, and so it's not just so it could extend further than that, and that hasn't really happened yet. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So how does it look when Bev sees this thing in the trunk as this happens?
Bev's holding like her bag of like her delicates, right? And as she sees this thing, she just kind of drops it and they all like fall on the ground. And she doesn't take her eyes off it as she's just scooping them back up into her bag and she hastily is closing it.
Oh, I didn't realize Pasta took that. Oh, I'll explain it later. Don't mind it.
It's inert. Don't worry.
But is there a way to reanimate it? I could study this. I had to lose my sample earlier
Let's focus
today,
on that later.
and it's living. It isn't a creature, and it isn't human DNA, and it isn't fungal DNA, but it is
Dr.
living.
Key, it's a rock.
It's not just a rock. Think it's larger than that. It's larger than any of us. Did you know that?
I'd knock on it. Dr. Key, it's a rock.
Looks pretty small there.
It's not. I've seen it under a microscope. If it's from nectar, I've seen it.
Let's get you in the car.
Okay. We'll say all the belongings make their way into the car. All of you get into the car. And at this point, you can start driving away. Who would we say is at the wheel? We're going to let Marie continue to drive. She's going to.
Yeah, I didn't
I have
move,
horrible
so
driving.
I'm just still here.
Okay. Where do you guys want to go? Where do you guys want to go? What's the plan?
Tell Marie to drive us to some maybe abandoned warehouse, maybe an industrial place we can like hide out in.
Sure. Okay.
So Marie's just gonna start driving and
just
try
start
to
driving
find
and
something that looks a little less residential.
Okay. Marie, give me a luck test. You're going to find it. It's just a question of how long it takes. So if you pass a luck test, it'll happen quick. If not, it's going to take a little while. Well, that's another roll in the 90s.
Wow. That's another fumble.
What is happening?
It's a good decade.
That is-
It's a really good decade. My favorite, in fact. Okay. It takes... it's going to take a little time actually for you to find somewhere. You guys basically drive around for a while, and anytime you try to like point out a place for Marie to turn, she's just not having it. And it takes 2 hours really for you all. And it's not even like you've driven that far away. You're kind of just like in this sort of spiral, and you pass by some of these locations a few times, and until you do see, in fact, it's like you were specifically looking for something industrial, and you find what looks like a stretch of like of probably storage warehouses and things like that. Not unlike what you saw down in Long Beach when you first arrived in Los Angeles. But we'll say you pull into this extensive parking lot area. You're able to tuck the car back behind some of these buildings. Doesn't look like there's anyone currently there. It might be active. It might not be like abandoned. It just doesn't look like it's getting any specific use at this time of night in this rain. So
Jeff,
you guys are together. Yeah.
Would it be okay to say that as we were driving, I was trying to perform first aid on myself?
Of course. Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay. So the rest of you, first thing you would see him do is reloading his pistol, pulling out empty casings, putting new ones in. And then he would pull out, Jeff said that there might be a little piece of fabric hanging out from the seams. He took one of those shirts or dresses and just yanked it out, and now he's shredding it into bandages so that he can clean himself up here in the backseat. I'm going to take 2 boosts if I can. Give myself 50-50 here.
Of course. Yep. Melissa's got that, I think.
I rolled a 90.
Oh
It's
my
not a crit
gosh.
fail though for you, right?
Holy shit.
I don't
But
remember crit fail.
You
I don't think
have
90 is crit
any
fail
luck
anyways, right?
left, really. You don't have any luck left, right? Because you spent it all to not die last time.
Not much at all.
Yeah.
Just what I rolled beginning of the session.
Yeah.
Can I try to do a first aid on password?
I think
That was something
somebody
I
can
freaking
help
noticed
with
in the
first aid if I remember correctly, but I'm not sure if
So,
it's like a.
It's
what we
only
can
1
say-
hit point. It's okay.
Well, I mean, what we could do is we could have Pastor Wood. You can try to push it, and then if Shima aids you, you can push it. We'll say with a bonus die at this point. But if you fail, we'll say like the wound gets infected or something.
I'll always take that bet.
All right, there we go.
Hell
So you can
yes.
push, but you do get the bonus
Pushing.
die. We'll say from Shima, and then go from there.
And that turns it into a 3.
There you go.
From 90 to a 3.
Amazing.
So Shima, what do you think you see Pastor Wood doing wrong as he's trying to perform first aid on himself?
I think he's just kind of shaky. And she kind of reaches out and just holds his hand so that it's steadier.
Okay, beautiful.
Thank
say
you,
around
Miss
this-
O'Brien.
We'll say around this time then, the car pulls in. Marie, maybe aided by Patrick, kind of looking, giving you navigation. You find this string of warehouses. You find a small little back alley behind one of them that doesn't seem to have any traffic. There's no way any of the cross streets could see it. And you pull off back there by yourself. So you have a moment to breathe, to think. No one can see you. You're pretty sure at this point no one's followed you. It's, in terms of time of day, peg at around 8 o'clock at night, maybe, by the time you settle in, because this did take a while to find.
And that's the gist of it. Marie came out of nowhere. Gunfire started. What are we doing here?
Thought it was supposed to be just a stakeout. Why?
We were staking out and we saw Maria with a bag over her head.
The police didn't take you?
They didn't
Well,
see
it was
us.
the police.
What train was after our heads now? Or was it Captain Walker?
She
One of
showed
those
up in a
two.
patrol car.
I didn't see much, bag on head and all that. But I probably shouldn't have looked under the bed back there. I didn't get to see much inside, but big mouth under the bed, and then I don't remember much after that. There's some. I was tied in a room. I was bound in a room, and there was someone else in the room, and there were kind of like in the house under like a curtain, people and stuff.
There was someone else in the room? Who else was in the room?
I don't know. I got myself unbound and tried to look around the house, and I looked under the bed, and I shouldn't have looked under the bed. Shouldn't have looked under the bed.
Go ahead and roll retroactive spot hidden, we'll say. But also, if there's something else that you want to do... No, let's just do spot hidden. Or we can make it just a straight up idea roll if you want to just do that. Which is like your int. That might even be better. It might even be better. Just make an idea roll.
Okay. Rolling against 60 and rolling a 65.
Do you want to spend 5 luck?
Yes.
Okay. As you describe the man that you saw, some of you recognize the description, and it says, well, that sounds a little like Abraham Buchwald, the accountant.
Oh.
Said he was dead.
Guys, go see.
He was
He
was dead?
in meta. I'm remembering Abraham Buchwald as the accountant that was tracking the nectar trades, and who really made it a point to say that he was not involved in the depravity except for like accounting.
That's exactly correct.
We went and we interviewed him.
Mm-hmm. Not all of you.
But he's very much alive.
Bev
from
and
Patrick and
I
Bev.
believe. I think it was Patrick and Bev. But, as I said, Patrick Price did give up various names to a certain Jack Pisner.
Oh, right.
Oh, shit.
Right.
Patrick, did you tell us that you told
forgot
Pisner
that
everything?
Yeah, I'd say we're in danger.
He wasn't dead. He was just bound like I was there. I don't think he was dead.
Perhaps if we got him out, he'd be willing to give us a bit more information.
Pastor's got the keys, yeah? We didn't get a chance to go inside.
I hold up a ring with like 100 keys on it.
Well, keys could definitely be useful. And as Marie is sort of sinking in that perhaps we got Buchwald taken, she just sort of, again, she's still a little bit slow, but she sort of throws a look over to Bev and Shima.
Well, we have to go get him, right? Like that. I mean, if we did this to him, then we need to go get him.
We might have been endangering anyone that we've spoken with since we've been here. Possibly.
That's for sure. Our families are threatened. Our heads are wanted. And Captain Walker, if I can assume, that's the man we met. He knows we're here.
Our
You met him?
families are threatened?
Well,
We shouldn't dwell on what might happen. We should dwell upon what we can do to make things better. I say we go back for Buchwald. If we help him, he might be able to help us out of gratitude. I do think we're in bad shape. I look over at Shima. That big hoss who was in my hotel room this morning. You think he'd meet us over there?
I can call him. I can ask.
Didn't you say he was out of town?
He said he was coming back tonight. Maybe he's back.
Well, I think
I
we
got the
shouldn't
sense-
linger too long because there's a chance they'd move Buchwald with us being there. The sooner the better.
I'm more than willing to call if there's like a payphone or something where I'm happy to.
You
Right.
you pass like gas stations and various other places along. You could easily backtrack. Do all of you backtrack, or do you stay together at this point, or for the call, or do you just separate and do it?
We've only got one car. I feel like we'd stay together. What do you guys
Okay.
think?
yeah, we'll just drop
Is
him
it-
off while we wait.
Is it true? Are we actually gonna be a group together?
I finally figured it
One
out.
group?
Only
just crash
one
your
vehicle.
cars.
I
just crash your car, that's all I gotta do.
Of people are half dead.
Next time we go for rent a car. Oh, sorry, we're out of stock.
All right, Shima, Give me a luck test.
Okay.
You're making the call. You know the number. Let's see how it goes.
19 success.
Phone rings, and you hear, Shima, is that you?
Johnny?
Oh my god, you okay? You okay? Like, Paulie was telling me that you were calling. I told you I was at a town. Like, did you okay? Did you do something stupid? He said you were talking about like the mafia and you could do something stupid or whatever.
Sorry. I'm just remembering. No, Johnny, I'm fine. I'm fine. But can you come? Can you come, please?
Yeah. Just where are you? Where you at? Everything's gonna be fine. It's all right.
The address.
Yeah, you look around and you kind of get some cross streets or something, or maybe one of them is like, okay, all right, I'll be there. Just stay there. I'll be fine. I'll be well. It's more than 5 minutes, but like, just stay there. I don't know exactly how long it's gonna be. Somewhere between probably like 30 minutes and like maybe like an hour and 30 minutes. Like I gotta kind of get a car. I don't really have one. You see?
No, wait. Can you
Yeah. What? Can I what?
Can you get me a gun? Can you get me a gun? I don't have one.
Can I get you a gun?
Yes.
What kind of guy do you think I am? Of course I can get you a gun. Yeah, no problem. I got that. What kind do you want? You want like a handgun? You want like a shotgun?
Yeah, like a handgun.
Want like a handgun? Yeah, I can get you. We got a couple around here. Yeah. Okay. You know how to shoot it?
Yes.
I saw that your grandfather had one.
He does.
He was pointing at me and everything. Okay. All right. So I'll get you a gun and I gotta find a car. And then I'm gonna
just come.
All right, I'm coming. Everything's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. It's all right. And then he hangs up. Okay. So between 30 minutes and an hour and 30 minutes, is there anything that you wanted to do in that little window?
I would really love to try and do some first aid for folks.
Go ahead and do those rolls if you want to do them, if anyone needs them.
If it's just one hit, it's better than 0.
Shima and Beverly took 2 from the accident. Patrick and Pastor, you took some damage. Maria, I don't think you took damage, right? You just took some sanity loss, I believe.
Yeah, I'm down HP, I think still from like the cat, but I'm fine compared to other people.
All right.
6 under 30 for my first roll.
Okay. Who is that with?
Bev.
Okay.
Sorry, Patrick.
Okay.
I just love Darky. My second roll is 84 over 30, which...
You want to spend 54 to give Patrick an extra HP?
What do you add, Patrick?
I'm at 14. I'm pretty healthy.
Okay, then no.
What? Didn't you? Oh, wait, we used all your luck from what's
I used all my luck to tank it.
Okay.
Still, starting with, I've got 18 max.
He's a tough boy,
he's got
man.
26
max. 24 max, so I'm at 17.
Why is the barber so tough? What past does he have?
I know.
What neighborhood did he come from?
I'm just simple farmer boy.
Uh-huh. That's how you know he's such a good squealer. Because the pig farm, it was there. I didn't quite have it fully formed, but the joke was there somewhere. I need to revise it. All right, anyhow. Car rolls up.
Anything that we could use for medicine? Like an actual medicine roll?
I don't think
we're at a gas station, which I'm assuming will have some basic first aid.
I would imagine 1936.
Alcohol and bandages.
Yeah.
And that kind of
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with saying that. A couple small things here and there. Nothing fancy.
It takes an hour per medicine check.
Okay.
Oh, we were waiting for almost an hour. I mean, that's totally if Bev wanted to. I think Bev's the only one that has the possibility of doing that.
And Pastor Wood needs it. So if we can...
And it recovers 1d3 hit points. And that's in addition to first aid.
So basically, Bev, I think you can get... I'll say you can get 2. One maybe in the car, and then one maybe afterwards. So if you want to do 2 of them, you're welcome to give it a try. Just say who you're targeting, and then make the roll. And
Okay.
we'll see.
I'm gonna take 2 points, and I'm gonna go for Pastor Wood first.
Okay.
Got it.
Thank you
For
kindly.
2 boosts. So target's 41.
Okay. All right.
I don't
Give
wanna
that a
look.
go. Oh my god.
You got it.
No, you're good.
Oh.
You're
With
good.
the boost, you got it.
With the boost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go roll your D3.
And then go ahead, roll your D3, Pastor, or should I roll it?
You did the healing. You roll it.
Oh god.
That way I can blame you when it's bad.
Oh.
D3.
All right.
2.
Okay. And then
Middle of the
while
road.
we're waiting
That's a
for Johnny to
1.
show up back behind the, maybe you were either at the gas station or we maybe returned to that warehouse area, whatever you prefer. But as you're waiting for Johnny to show up, go ahead and give another one.
Okay, this one's gonna be for Patrick.
Okay.
Taking 2 again?
Yeah. 45. I'll spend the 3 luck to be able to pass.
Okay. All right. So D3 again for Patrick then.
3.
All right.
No.
just 1.
1.
Hey, every little bit counts.
Thank you, Bev. Couldn't reach that spot.
Mm-hmm.
As you finish up, maybe doing like a slight stitch or something, or just cleaning out a wound that Patrick suffered, maybe one of the grazes to his back, you see a car approach, rolling up, and it's a truck, in fact, and it's just slowly coming up. Big bright headlights. Stops, and it's just kind of staring the lights at you for a while, and then you hear the door open up. Go ahead, Patrick.
You lost there, stranger?
Is Shima there?
Oh, yeah. Hey, Johnny, is that you?
And
Oh, hey,
she,
yeah. Hey, Patrick. Hey, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's okay. They're cool. He's cool. It's fine. He can sing really good. And
she
you can
runs.
yeah, and as you're running,
he thinks his voice is.
you're running. You eventually get past like the headlights. You see him. He's in his giant state. He's got like a pea coat on, sort of like almost looks like a stevedore from Boston or something. As you run up to him,
She just launches herself at it.
Okay, yeah. Hey, it's okay, yeah. He's just like, everything's fine. Everything's fine.
You're fine.
Yeah.
You're here. You're fine.
No, I'm fine. You're fine. Everyone's fine. Everyone's fine. And then you guys see stepping out of the other side of the vehicle, who's been driving, short guy, like barely 5 foot, and he's wiry thin, and he pops out and he's like, "Hey, how you doing? Kind of comes up to like the rest of you. I guess they're like a thing now or something. She called up on the phone. Hey, how you doing? I'm Paulie. And he kind of goes back to the start, Paulie. He does it again just to make sure you got it.
Well, hello,
Yeah,
Polly.
Got in a little trouble with the walking trammel boys.
And you see his face like, I'm sorry, you did what now?
Well, they've threatened us since we've been in LA, and we got in a little tussle.
Hey, Johnny, know your friends here? They were tangling with Trammell and Walker. And then that's when like Johnny kind of leans back a little bit. He's like, Shima, what did you do?
Not nothing.
It's okay.
Do anything.
But they said you guys were
Yeah,
tangling.
it wasn't her, but it was more of me and
They
Pastor
arrested
Woody.
me. They arrested me and then kidnapped me and then brought me to the
Oh,
Trammels.
jeez.
They threatened Shima simply for being in LA.
And he's like, they fucking threatened Shima?
They certainly spoke it.
I'll like go through the paperwork and like show like the note that Pisner had, talking about like the list where he was going to go after all of us.
He grabs it. He looks at it. He's like you can see he's struggling to read it, but he gets it. And then his hand starts to like just start to squeeze on it. Shima, left pocket, Shima. If you reach in, you feel like a cold metal object, and you pull it out. It's a gun. Like you got this, like it's a basic revolver, nothing fancy, but he's got like a handgun for you. That's for you. It ain't pretty, it ain't fancy. I didn't have enough time to like do anything cool with it, but it'll work, and it's loaded, so be careful.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So listen. You cannot tell Mr. Racone that me and Paulie are helping you with this. He doesn't like Tremble. And he very much wants to get a hold of whatever it is that Tremble and Walker are doing. But he wants to do it on his terms. So if he finds out that me and Paulie are helping you, that ain't gonna be good for me and Paulie. Understand?
Well, I can respect that, and I can also tell you that after tonight, I have no intention of remaining in Los Angeles. And I don't believe the rest of us do either.
Wait, you leave it? You leave it you leave... Okay, one thing at a time. So he gets kind of very disappointed, like his face kind of like looks over to like, okay, all right, I understand.
Sugar also afraid to him and just kind of inches closer to him.
All right, it's all
right. It's what you could call a hostile environment.
You know, they call us the criminals, you know? They call us the bad guys. But it's those guys. It's Trammell, it's Walker, they're the real bad ones.
They have police on their payroll.
That's not something that makes someone bad. We got police on our payroll. Come on, let's not.
That's what I called about because I knew that was fine. That's what I called about.
Askerwood hates the direction this conversation is turning in.
Well, if they're threatening Shima, and they're threatening you all, we're pretty sure. We don't know everything about his network, but we know that it extends beyond Los Angeles. It extends beyond California. Like we would tell, hey, you sure you should be telling them all to shut up, Paulie? No. As I was saying, I told you that we don't really know everything about how it works. Mr. Racone, you know, he knows every distributor, every producer, everyone in the industries in which we dabble. And somehow, these guys still make product that we don't even understand. And they still distribute product to high-end clientele. So, if we're going to help you, do whatever it is you want to do. Anything that tells us how they produce whatever they're producing, whatever product they have on hand, that kind of stuff. Something I can offer to Mr. Racone. Because if he finds out that I helped you, he's going to want to cut off my freaking arm. And in short of him doing that, I need to give him something more valuable. You understand?
I think I know exactly what you're talking about. In fact, we know for a fact that Mr. Trammell's accountant, Mr. Bookwald, is inside that house. And our goal was to get him out of there, because I'm sure he knows quite a bit of vital information.
Now we're speaking the same language. I like your grandfather. He's pretty smart, this one.
He also has a bunch of keys.
You told me he was scrappy. He is scrappy.
He does. He's pretty good for his age.
One final thing, though, before you do agree to this. I think it's only fair that you and Paulie know what you're getting yourselves into. This house.
Wait. What do you mean? What do you mean what Paulie's getting? Shut up, Paulie. Okay, yeah, you're right.
This house has some strange happenings in there. And they do things that mess with your mind. Somewhat drug-like, you might say. Come here,
like the
look
house.
at this. And I bring him around to the back of the car.
Okay.
Sorry, Marie. What were you saying?
Marie's just going to kind of jump in because Johnny went with Marie to the house. And so just kind of referencing kind of like the stuff we saw there.
The flop house, the den.
You'll see a lot of variations on this at that mansion. And I pop the trunk and show them the paperweight, as I keep calling it.
Shama, do you stick with Johnny?
I do. And
Okay.
seeing it for the first time.
So he's like, oh, fuck, what the hell is that? And like, oh, God, what the hell? God, oh, come on. And I need you to go ahead and roll a sand test there, Shima. And I'm going to do the same for Johnny and Paulie.
Oh,
I know it's mean, but I also figure it's
Johnny
better
is
for them to like
just the
get it
best.
over with now so that
Yeah, that
they
makes
don't
sense.
freeze later.
I rolled a 6 and an 8 with these
29.
guys. They are cold as ice. They both take
Wow.
Oh,
a...
yes.
All right, even a pass still nets 1 loss of sand, though. It is pretty horrific looking at it. But I literally rolled a 6 and an 8 with them. Like, what the fuck is this shit? Grandpa, what the hell, man? That's disgusting. What's wrong with you? No,
So
don't
I
look,
haven't
don't look,
had
don't
the
look.
chance. I haven't had the chance yet to finalize my process on this, but I have started. We got our hand on some nectar, and I have started to break down the components and try and learn how it's made from taking it apart. I haven't determined yet if this thing is part of that process, but nectar is not like a normal drug. It's almost living.
Yeah,
and
okay,
she's-
Doc. Yeah, okay.
Like, she looks crazy still. Like, her hair's still a mess from earlier today. Her face is bruised from hitting it against the steering wheel, kind of like on like her eyes and her like bridge of her nose. And she's think of like
okay.
the aliens guy. That's kind of Bev right now. That's like the
Yeah, okay.
energy she's channeling.
She's sort of
Pastor Wood
sure,
kind of freezes
sure.
up when she goes into this because like he was like, okay, we've got a plan. I know we're gonna do A, B, C, and we're gonna take care of this. And then when it comes to like the trauma and like the sanity, Pastor Wood just has no idea how to handle that. So he just like completely loses all energy and momentum for like what he was like trying to prepare for.
Right. So
So we
some
have to
ice
get
or
him
something
out of
for
the
that,
house,
maybe.
right? We have to save him. We talk to him. That's terrible. He has a family. He has kids. He's been trying to get out of this. So really, that's terrible for him to have.
Yeah.
Also, any books that we can get would be fantastic. I need
Books.
as many that we can get.
Sure, I don't think Mr. Riccone cares about unless it's accountant books. Give us some accountant books, there's stuff like that. But like, I don't care about it. Like, we're talking like history books or something. But yeah,
No, we're talking like stuff regarding nectar. If they have any
we kind of
books
might
how
want a
it's
little bit
made.
of that, though. Well, see, that's the thing. Like production, distribution, those types.
I don't want to produce, but we need to learn.
Yeah, well, Mr. Riccone
so we
might
can
want
stop
to.
it. I agree.
Wait.
So just to be clear, we don't want to just get the accountant when we go in, because we all need answers. We all want to go in, and we all need to get as many answers as possible, because answers that will help us are answers that will help you. And she's kind of pointing to Johnny.
Sure.
Who's the best at strategy? How are we? Are we under cover of night?
Okay.
It's nighttime.
Sure. Yeah. Like
I'm
we
thirsty.
probably want to. Oh God.
And Bev, total
your
180.
friend's
She
crazy.
goes, and she's like, "Who needs a beverage?" Like her mind's going a mile a minute, and she goes, and she just goes to get us. Drinks.
So we'll
and then
assume we
she'll
were
come
by
back.
the gas station, so you go like get like an RC cola or some shit. Okay. So he's like, once you're gone, he's like, okay, she seems to have had a difficult evening. She was much more enchanting at the on the Duchess. No offense.
We might need her inside.
Difficulty. She has.
We might need her inside to identify the important pieces of information, but I do think she should stay near the back.
Okay. All right. Here's my deal. Anything that has to do with the production and distribution of nectar, okay, I gotta take it. That Mr. Riccone is gonna want that. He's gonna know about the product. It is a rival to what we're doing here. He might want to stir one up himself, depending upon how difficult it is to produce and what the margins are. So I need to bring that to him. Like, that's like a non-negotiable thing.
I don't see any problems with that, especially if you let us flip through the pages in the car ride back.
I think we can arrange that, no problem. Here's my other thing. We gotta take out Walker. I don't really care so much about Trammell. Everything I've heard is he's a bit of a loop-de-loo, you know? He's not quite there in the head. Kind of strange. And he might be, like the brains in some way. But brains are brains. I want to take out Walker. He's the ruthless one. He's the one that's going to send people after your families. Alright, it ain't Trammell. It's Walker. We can't let him out. Because if he gets out, and he knows everything about us, who we are, where we're from, who we love, well, we're gonna have a bad time. You get me? Capiche?
I've seen it firsthand.
Walker, we don't know much about yet. They call him Captain Walker. Is he law enforcement?
No one really knows a whole lot about him. He kind of keeps a low profile. Best we were able to figure out is he started young. He's got various connections in some of the Latino communities. That's pretty much all we know. Other than he's ruthless, he's strategic, and he doesn't really like to make a lot of noise. Does a lot of his dirty work in the shadows, you know. But he's a consummate professional.
It's possible he's fled the home. We should head there quickly.
Well, I guess that sort of depends on just how threatened he feels by all of you, and how much damage you all did when you were there. If it was total, I think Walker's the kind of guy, he would cut bait and he would run. But I'm pretty sure he's the type of guy who holds a grudge. So he might run. Maybe 10, 15 years from now, you wake up in the morning, there's a horse's head in your freaking bed, and you're like, where the hell did this come from? And there's a note that says, hey, Merry Christmas, Captain Walker. And then boom, get take two in the face. Something like that. I'm just spitballing.
I didn't do any damage. I just got brought there and then ran out. I didn't do any damage. I don't think they're afraid of me.
Did you get a look at what's inside? Any guy we tried to send in there ain't come back.
Don't look under beds. Don't look under beds, because the thing that's back there, if you look under beds, bad things happen.
All right, don't look under the beds. Check. Got it. No problem. I don't know why we're looking in the beds, but that would be kind of an obvious place to hide some things. But hey, that's what you say, Marie, no problem. We won't look underneath beds.
Yeah, it wasn't accounting books, I can tell you that.
Okay.
Make sure you mind the shrubs, too. They tend to snag your clothing.
Okay. These good tips. Good tips. Good to know.
So it sounds like we want to try to find Trammell's office, try to find Trammell, and try to find
You didn't see
Buchwald.
that when you were inside. You didn't see like an office or a study or nothing?
I saw a room that I was in. I saw a dining room. I saw a guest bedroom. Then I looked into the bed. Then I ran for my life.
All right. Did you like go up or downstairs or nothing? You on the first floor, second floor? What are we talking about? Down the basement maybe?
I was on the first floor, right? Because there were stairs going up and around. But I
started
didn't
on
take.
the second story and then you
started on
went
the second and went
downstairs
down.
and ran.
That's
Yeah.
right. I was on the second.
All right, so maybe
And then I
we
ran
look at
down
the
and
first then. If you're upstairs, there's bedrooms and stuff. We look downstairs.
Yep.
We look for something down there. All right, that is useful. That is useful. Okay.
And he's got
All
the
right.
keys. Did I mention he's got the keys?
Yeah, you mentioned he's got keys. Yeah, he's got keys. All right.
These are the guns the lackeys are using. I'll show them the revolver.
Yeah, these
That helps
are
it
all
out.
right. These are all right. Nothing special. Nothing special. No problem. We got some extra ammo. in the
I could use
truck.
it.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Go ahead and just look. There's a toolbox in the bed. Open it up. Figure out what fits you.
I want to check out the toolbox.
You go back there and there's bullets, a couple guns, just bullets galore. It's like a big ass toolbox, mechanics toolbox. There's all sorts of stuff in there. All right. What else are you guys doing?
I think I'm ready to go back.
Yeah, we're just all preparing ourselves to go.
Shama's gonna pull Johnny aside after all of this is done. They have a quite private conversation.
Sure, we can do that.
Thank you for coming.
Hey, you don't gotta thank me. That's just what I would do, you know. You ain't no, yeah, you don't need to thank. Nah, you don't need to thank me. No problem.
No, I might not get to do lunch with you.
Yeah, they were saying you're leaving.
Yeah. And but there is something I wanted to say to you, even if I don't get to do lunch with you, which is I know you don't think you're smart, but you're very smart. Like, just because it takes you an extra second to read something doesn't make you not smart.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Nice. I just like you a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like you too, you know. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's why I'm here, you know. That's why, yeah. Yeah, no one's really ever called me smart before, though. You know, my mom didn't even call me smart, so she said I was big and I was strong and stuff. And she said a couple other things, but she never said smart. Yeah, I guess like when I'm like around you, you know, like I feel smarter. Is that strange? Is it like maybe like because you and Bev are like so like academic and such, like it's just like elevating me or something, you know? Is that like
I don't know,
thing?
I just know that stupid people don't say things like elevating.
Well, yeah, we'll see. I've been like I'm trying to read better, you know? Like I've been trying to look at some books and things. Like a lot of them got pictures in them, but I figured that's a good place to start. And then like I kind of keep going with it, you know? Eventually I can read some of the stuff that you write, you know? Like that's the idea.
Maybe you can read Caleb's Revenge next before I come to town next.
So you are gonna come back. I'll have it read. No problem. We'll talk about it over lunch or dinner.
Would it be okay if I kiss you a little?
I mean, yeah.
And
Sure.
she reaches up and gives him a peck on the lips.
Yeah, it's like a little awkward, but also sweet
It's
at the same
super
time.
awkward.
Yeah. So, meanwhile, as that's going off to the side, Beverly is freaking out, drinking an RC Cola.
Beverly's walking up and she sees this. You guys finally made it official.
Hey, how's it going? You feeling better, Doc?
Yeah, I needed a snack, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Sometimes, like, when I haven't eaten and drinking, like, yeah, I get a little lightheaded and such.
Hangry, you know, just...
Hangry? That's an interesting word. I didn't know that one yet. Okay. Yeah. All right, so, meanwhile, Wood, Marie, Patrick will say, if you needed reloads, there's probably reloads in here. It's like a hodgepodge of various ammunition.
Did you say there were extra guns, too?
Sure. There's going to be a total of 4 extra guns in here. Revolvers, basic simple revolvers.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a gun?
There are also 4 knives in here if anybody want to take a big old knife.
I would love a knife.
Yeah.
I already have a knife. I'd like to have a backup revolver.
Yeah, so if you're looking for it in Foundry in terms of items, it would be the 32 revolver. You can just pull that over, and then the knife, where is it? It would be a medium knife. All right.
So gun count. How many guns do we have then?
He brought 4 guns, 4 knives.
I have a large knife, so I won't take one.
I
Bev
already have
has
one.
her own gun.
Okay. All right.
So
Okay,
maybe
so
if
then-
they have extra ammo, maybe she'll pocket a couple extra just in case.
All right. So we'll say you guys take whatever weapons you need, put them on your persons, get back in the vehicles. You start heading back. By the time you start heading back, it's pretty late. You know, it took another hour before you arrived. You've been strategizing, talking for a little while. So by the time you get back, it's not quite midnight, but it's probably 11-ish or so. So it's very, very dark. The rain has stopped, although you can see in the distance, there's like thunderstorms that are sort of roaming around the western horizon, but they haven't quite caught up with you all yet. It's very, very, very humid. And as you drive back, you can hear and feel the splashes of your tires as they just plummet into various potholes where these puddles have started to form. And as you turn back into the neighborhood, same deal. You can see that there's these sections where water has begun to form here and there. You can even see, like, above some of the standing water, these swarms of bugs and such. It kind of, strangely enough, probably gives you a little bit of vibes of Savannah to some degree, just in terms of its humidity and the wetness of it all. Now, we don't need to get too overly tactical with this, but basically, I would like to know, do you park at a distance and go on foot? Do you just go in guns blazing, just driving the cars up? What is the
my
general
idea
idea?
was we just take the truck into the side of the building if there's a soft spot. We just send it.
Like a conservatory?
Damn, Lolly, I love you.
So I'm guessing our car, not Johnny's truck, because I'm not
Up
sure
to you
Johnny.
guys.
No,
would-
his truck and take it.
Johnny, we've got an idea for you.
that sounds like a great idea.
Like it or not.
Hey, Johnny, what are you talking about? This is my uncle's truck. Like, we can't go ruining my uncle's truck.
Hey, shut up, Paulie. If they say it's what needs to happen, just remember what's going to happen. We bring a Kone, like the head of like Captain Walker and stuff. We're going to be freaking heroes, man. He's going to elevate us up. And he kind of looks over at Shiva when he says that. He's going to elevate us all the way up the food chain, you know? Like, we're going to be like capos and such,
Wait,
man.
Polly, are you who I spoke to on the phone?
Yeah.
You know so much about the mafia.
I mean, I'm in it, so I would hope so.
That's incredible. I hope he does elevate you.
Right. I don't even know what that means. Is that like an elevator?
She looks at like, see?
And he like, kind of looks over, like past you over towards Bev, and he's like, "Hey, how you doing?" And, you know, he's like this tiny little 5-foot guy, super scrawny. he's like the scrawny little sidekick. How you doing?
He's like the exact opposite of Ed Exley.
Yeah, he totally is. Totally is the opposite. He's the guy driving the truck. So, and it's his truck.
But it's like, yeah, you know, I don't really want my uncle to get too upset. You know, he needs you really think this?
Yet this will get you the entrance, the surprise, the element of surprise.
Right.
No one would guess that they had me captured and I snuck out. And then suddenly a truck comes through the side of their house. They would never expect that to happen. That's how you win.
Mm.
Element of surprise.
Give me a test to see if you can convince him to crash his car into the side of this building.
All right, let me
Anyone
persuade.
can do it.
Sounded like a persuade more than charm to me, so go ahead and give it persuade.
Totally fine. All right, come
Yeah.
on. 14 under 73.
Hell yes.
He's like, yeah. Oh, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. They would never respect a door like you to be coming back. You know, hey, how you doing? Paul, nice to meet you. And it says,
And she'll wink.
Oh, well, sure. Yeah, happy to do it. But I'm driving.
Feel free.
All right.
It's your truck. You should drive it.
Okay. So
we have some people go in the truck, some people
Yeah.
follow in the car behind. The truck rams into the building, the car behind just like goes up the driveway. So we're all like together, but we also have a getaway nearby if we need it. That sound good?
That is the intelligent thing to do. Yes.
Yeah, that's
Let's crash the car and then not
There's
have a
definitely
way to
intelligence
run away.
happening. Okay.
Or
who's
7 people in the
truck?
cab of the truck.
Paulie is driving. There's 2 more spaces in the cab, and then there's plenty of room in the bed if you want to be. Who's going to be in the truck, which is going to crash into, I think you said the conservatory. Who is going to be in that vehicle with Paulie?
I'll be in that one.
Shamaz, wherever
boy.
Johnny is.
All right, so it sounds like Johnny's going to be in the car.
Pastor should be with Bev and me then. Marie and I, right? Or no?
Well,
Yeah.
no, if I go in the car, then either Bev or Marie has to go in the truck. One of the 3 of us has to go in the truck.
I.
I've got
Yeah,
Paulie and Patrick in the truck. I've got Johnny and Shima in the car.
I'm not
I thought
opposed. I'm
Johnny
just
and
wondering what
Shiloh-
your thinking was.
I don't think Johnny would put Shima in the back of the truck. It's a fairly dangerous place to be.
I'll go in the truck. That's fine.
Okay. So we're going to put Paulie, Patrick, and Pastor Wood. The 3 of you will.
I got tons of hit points. I got healed. It's all good.
You'll group up in the bed. It's the safer, not in the bed, in the actual front
In the cab.
of the cab.
Yeah.
Thank you. I couldn't think of it because the bed you could get thrown out and bad things could happen. All right, and then Johnny, Shima.
Wait. So is it Paulie, Patrick, and Pastor in the truck?
It's all the P's.
Oh,
it's a triple
yeah.
P.
PP squad.
PPP.
How you guys doing? I'm Paulie.
Hey, buddy.
Pastor.
Pastor. And he's Patrick.
Steven, if
That's
you
like
don't
3
want to be
Ps.
in the if you don't want to be in the truck, Marie can go in the truck. Like,
No,
if you
I'm
don't wanna
going
be in the
now.
truck.
Now he's
Triple
gonna
P.
go. Triple P. All right. Last question. I already got the truck taken care of, but who is driving the car?
Not me.
Marie.
All right.
Marie's feeling better.
All right. Oh boy. All right. Here we go.
I'm afraid.
Let's see what we got. So you guys are you're slowly kind of driving into the neighborhood at this point. You're bumping over top of these various potholes and things, slowly going past. You can see the large mansions here and there, new money, a couple lights, but mostly it's a very dark neighborhood at this point. But there are a handful of lights here and there. You got your headlights on, so you can find a way. You're weaving around, driving down Hyacinth Ave. And then that's when you make the turn into the driveway for Trammell's mansion, and you see the truck. Paulie looks over to Pastor, looks over to Patrick.
Here we go.
And he just guns the truck, and it goes bat out of hell, screeching off of Hyacinth Ave up the bumpy road that is the driveway. Marie, you're following. Marie, I'm going to need you to make a drive test as the 2 vehicles start flying through. There's a handful of other cars here, and you're making some noise. And although there are people on guard, they don't expect this. So they're not immediately going to respond, but they're very quickly going to. Marie, go ahead and give me a drive test.
All right, I'm taking 1 boost, so it's a 50-50 for this
Okay.
drive.
Okay.
It's a 91. Holy crap.
You want to spend 40 something luck to make that
I
a
don't
success?
have-
Push it.
Could she push?
40.
Or you can push.
Oh, I can push.
But remember,
I will have
if you
to push
fail on a
'cause I don't
push,
even-
bad stuff happens. Something worse than
Why
failing.
Can I?
You just rolled again. I don't think there's a special button.
Yeah,
I'm not telling you
that's what
not
I
to.
was. I'm gonna push.
Okay.
I'm gonna push.
Give it a go.
And I'm taking the boost again so that it's a 50-50. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
right.
Come on. 49 under 50.
Wow. The truck turns, screeches, bat out of hell, no problem. It gets a little too much distance as it starts passing by the carriage house. A couple of lights flicker out, and you can see a couple of people, some of the guards come tumbling out. One of them's limping as he's doing. They're pulling out. Goes what the fuck? Under attack! And people are starting to shout and yell immediately as everyone's kind of scrambling at this point. Marie, you turn in after, but as you do, the car starts to fishtail, and you almost lose control. You feel it kind kind of veer up onto two wheels. All of a sudden, this is about to roll over, but you're very quickly kind of shift and turn and cycle the wheel, and it slams back down. You gun it. It launches itself forward, and you follow in the truck's wake. You watch as the truck goes off the driveway at this point, right across the lawn, the very lawn that Pastor Wood and Patrick got in the fight, and you saw them weaving around. It curves to the backside of the actual house, to the east side, and you see the truck is just going. Pastor Wood, Patrick, you're directing him, and then it just smashes right into the side of the conservatory. And then Marie, with your vehicle, you're following, you go off-road as well. You kind of sweep, you turn, and it kind of does like this little Tokyo drift moment, and then comes to a stop right behind as the truck smashes into the side of the conservatory. I need Pastor Wood, I need Patrick Price, I need both of you to go ahead and give me rolls to see whether or not anything bad happens to you in this moment. So go ahead and just give me like I'll go dodge. Give me a dodge roll. And I'm going to give
I'd like to take a boost here to be safe.
Yeah. Got it.
57 under 77.
Did you both just roll a 57?
Yeah, but mine's a fail.
Okay. Do you want to spend any luck?
I don't have enough to get it down.
Okay. So that's a success from Pastor Wood. It's a success from Paulie. So both you and him, as you smash into it, you hear the crashing of the glass. The truck goes over top of the very bush that you had thrown the body into, and it leaps up and smashes down inside of this conservatory. It's almost like basically like a greenhouse in some ways. And as it comes down, there's all sorts of shifting and moving. There's glass cracking every which way. Over on Patrick Price's side, a bit of the windshield crashes as something plummets through. It's just kind of like with some very heavy hanging beam that was over top, and it smashes right through and it lands right in your lap, Patrick. You can go ahead and take 2 points of damage, and you can feel yourself for the moment. You're kind of pinned, like you're stuck as this beam is now keeping you in place. Meanwhile, in the car behind, Marie, Beverly, Shima, and Johnny, the four of you, you're fine. You don't have to make a roll as you're not slamming anything. You're just weaving, you're coming to a stop. But you did see people coming out of the carriage house running. And it's at this point you start hearing gunshots. What do the four of you do, we'll say? So Marie, Beverly, Shima, and Johnny. What do you all do? As you see coming from the carriage house, there are two guys that are running after you, one of which is carrying a lantern firing. The other is just sort of firing at this point. What do the four of you do?
I would say that we are going to try to run for it and see if we can get to the house while this stuff is happening over there.
Shima?
Shima has no idea what to do, and so we'll be following Johnny's lead.
Okay.
So whatever he is doing, she is commensurate. She's following suit.
I like how you guys had the
running
plan.
into the house.
We're going to crash into the mansion. Step A. Step C, we succeed. Step B, yeah, we'll figure it out later.
No,
There's two guys.
We're an improv group.
They're shooting at us. Beverly's
There's two
gonna
guys
shoot
running
back.
at you
She's
with
taking
gun.
cover, and she's
Okay.
gonna shoot.
Or you're in the car. Are you staying in the car as you fire, or are you going to get out of the car
She's
first?
like out and then like behind like the
Okay.
boot of the car.
So you push the door open on your side, and you run around to the back of the car and you fire. Go ahead and roll a shot. Absolutely, let's go. Let's go. Two of them are chasing. One of them, you can see there's two that are chasing with guns. There was one that was kind of limping, a little bit moving slower. He hasn't quite appeared yet. It's one of the guys that Patrick slit the hamstring with. He's still alive.
So
okay.
do I do handgun or do I do my gun
on
combat page?
You
can just
would
roll.
use the firearms handgun because otherwise you have to have a target.
Yeah, I'm not giving you guys targets.
Okay,
in this.
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I have 2 boosts?
No.
Okay.
My goal's 40.
Okay.
Yeah. It'll be the same for me.
30.
Okay.
Amazing.
You fire out. You just run around to the back of the car. You point your gun up, fire, and you start firing away. You do hear as you manage to hit somebody. Go ahead and roll your damage.
It is a D10.
This is a fella I like to name Guard 5.
7.
Holy crap, that's a lot of damage. Not enough.
Wow.
Not enough. As you hear, and he takes fuck, but he doesn't go down. Instead, he just sort of fires back in your direction. I'm playing this fast and loose, so I'm going to say he's returning fire at Bev. Bev, I'm going to say because you've sort of kind of taken cover in some way, but it's not like official cover by the rules of the game, because that means you would have lost your opportunity to attack.
Okay.
All right. He is going to. That's an 18. Okay.
Oh, shit.
You, as he fires back at you, the exact guy that just shot you, he's going to roll 3 points of damage. Bev, you take a hit, maybe your arm, maybe your leg, as a bullet comes and catches you. Just that one portion that's not quite covered by the car. Okay. Same thing. Marie, Shaima, or Johnny.
So Marie was like thinking like she was going to run, and then she sees Bev shooting, and she's like, "Oh!" And she kind of like comes back and is trying to also shoot.
Okay, you're going to shoot the same one. Absolutely,
yeah, the same one.
As you see him stop for a second, and he aims a bit and fires, and you hear Bev as she gets hit in the back, and you take that moment as he stops still to shoot at him. Go ahead.
Okay, also trying to go under 40. 25.
25. Roll your damage. Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
So I got a 32, which is a D8.
D8. Okay.
So
just roll D8.
It's a 1.
Okay. You clip him. He's standing, fires. You kind of catch him, and it's a graze across the shoulder. You see his arm move back, but then he at this moment kind of turns the gun back in the direction of you, but he doesn't fire just yet. Shaima, what do you do?
We'll take a shot. I was gonna follow Johnny's head, but if I
you see Johnny is like climbing out badass, like from the side of the car. He's like kind of pulling himself up, and he's lowering the gun down on top of the hood as he sees if he's gonna fire, like half in the car, half out, Dukes of Hazzard style.
Has to recenter. So
Shaima, take a penalty die. It's just way too hot. Okay.
Let's give her a boost. She's motivated.
Oh yes, thirst trap and Travel's place. I'm into it. That's fighting with the rifle.
It's going to be firearms. With handguns.
Firearms, handgun.
Yeah.
Taking any boosts?
She doesn't need them. She'll have 9.
He doesn't fucking need it.
9 under 40.
Give me a D8. Give me a D8 roll. It's the guy that just took a graze on his shoulder, shot at Bev, took one in the leg from Bev, and then you finish him off as he kind of turns the gun now towards Marie in the back seat, or no, in the front seat as you were driving. Shaima, you lean up and out from the back seat. You're on maybe behind Marie in the car, whereas like Johnny is creeping up over top from the passenger side, and you just fired. You take one center mass, and he just goes, and he falls down to the ground as he is dead. Okay. Johnny, I'll let him go before. Good shot, Simon. Good shot. I'm going to take this solo one out. And so he's going to go ahead and he's going to take a shot at the other guy who's carrying the lantern and a gun. Of course, he hits. It's freaking Johnny. He's a goddamn Terminator. Well, actually, no, he's technically not the Terminator, but he's like Rocky or something. 6 points of damage on his shot onto guard 6. So guard 6. Now, guard 6 was the only one that you guys are going to be able to kind of convert to your side if you would have talked to him. So that's a real shame. I'm making that up.
Yeah, he had a real fleshed out backstory.
He really did.
He was 2 weeks from retirement.
And he was just trying to put his kids through college. But he
just like Cartoon.
He's too old for
all these guys are just trying to put their kids through college. There's an educational plan here for employees and families. But he takes a shot like right down in his hip and his gut. He's like, oh! But he's going to fire back. He's got a ton of options of who to shoot at. I am going to roll a D4. 4 will be Johnny, and then otherwise it's going to be based on the overlay. It is going to be Marie, as I rolled a 1. And so he's going to just kind of fire wildly at the car. He's going to go after Marie. Marie, he hits the car, but not you, as that is going to be a miss. But you do see like the windshield suddenly crack next to you as the bullet passes by your head into the car and hits the windshield from inside. It was that close to hitting you as I missed by 2. Now, While this is happening, there is another guy coming, but he's not going to be close enough this round to take a shot, but there is another one closing down. Those of you that just crashed into the conservatory, there is nobody currently inside the conservatory, but both of you immediately hear, and Pastor Wood, you watch as from this big heavy vine that is now hanging down from above, you see a mouth begin to open. And then, as it does so, it's going to hurl a bit of, it's going to hurl a bit of bile in your direction. Let's see. As he kind of like drips it down onto the now fractured windshield and try to like drip it inside of the cab itself. This is going to be... All right, so let me give that a roll. I'm going to target randomly again. 5 and 6 is going to be, what's his name? But it's going to be Pastor Wood, sorry. So Pastor Wood's coming down on you. It does, in fact, hit as you feel something burning, something acidic kind of drop down maybe onto your hand as you're reaching over to help Patrick. But you are going to take... Where is it? It's a D8 plus 1. You're going to take 5 points of damage as you feel this burn goes right through your clothes, maybe the sleeve of your shirt, and right starts digging into your skin. But it's now the 3 of your turns. That is the only visible thing you can see. And it's at this point that you hear Paulie go, "Holy fuck, what the fuck is, oh shit, as he starts to panic a little bit, as the last one he saw was a calcified one in your trunk. This one's alive. What do you guys do?
Get it together, Paulie. And I climb out of the truck, probably over Paulie because Patrick's pinned.
Okay.
And start blasting away at this vine.
Okay, go ahead and blast away at it. Give us a shot.
So anyways, I started blasting.
Yeah.
Can never remember my skills.
Oh,
Shit, that's a 91.
That's not good.
Needed an 85 too. I'm going to spend the 6 luck to turn it to a success.
All right, give me the damage.
Yay.
Damage for this is D10 plus 2. 12.
You see as the mouth opens up, and it really didn't even so much attack you as it just seemed like the tongue that started to roll out of it, and from it these tiny little mouths with these big gigantic fangs that just unfurl from them, and dripping from it is the bile. As you stand there looking at it, you fire and you watch as it just explodes into this hideous green and orange gore. Gets a little bit on your face, a little bit on the hood of the truck. You can see it sizzle as some of the bile kind of hits the metal, and it is dead. Patrick, you are pinned underneath this rafter. What do you want to do?
Lift this rafter, find a way to squeeze out.
All right, go ahead and just give me like a straight up strength roll. I'll tell you, take a bonus die. We'll say Paulie helps you. Let's see. He's like, come on, man. Come on. Let's go.
25 under 60.
So the two of you lift it up. You're able to climb out from underneath it. You can see that the truck is still in okay shape. You can tell that some of the hood is now accordioned a bit, but you can still hear the engine running. You can see that there is a hideous mess of this mouth on the hood that Pastor Wood just exploded. You hear the sounds of gunfire from behind you. You look back and you can see that the car behind you is currently exchanging fire. You hear coming from inside the house a little bit further, there's calls of alarm, but it's not as loud and chaotic as you might have thought, considering what just happened. What do you want to do, Patrick?
I'd like to run towards the house.
Okay, so you're going to run towards the house. So you get out of the car, you start running in. You came in through your own entry, but you are in the conservatory. Like looking around, like you can tell, like this is everything in here is like unruly. Like there's a lot of like very exotic looking plants that you're probably not particularly familiar with. They don't really look a lot like you're certain with. Every now and then like very sharp fronds from like a palm, some strange exotic palm, feel like they're almost reaching out at you like a hand and scraping you. But you manage to push, and eventually you do find, as you're pushing through this, it's very jungle-like in some way. You, in fact, do find a door. As you jiggle the handle, you realize it is in fact locked, but you do have the keys. So I'll say roll a luck test to see if you can just grab it on the first try.
With 11 luck.
Or if you wanted to just try to kick it down, you could do that too.
Yeah, we don't have time to lockpick or try these keys.
Okay.
I'll send my foot through.
All right, you sent your foot through. All right, go ahead and give me a strength roll.
45 under 60,
Okay.
or 54.
So you come pushing through, you're kind of sweeping some of the palms away, and you kick the door down. And what you see as the headlights manage to funnel through is you see, well, it looks like almost like a library in here. As you can see that there are books everywhere, like floor to ceiling bookshelves. You can see that there's a kind of a very grandiose desk. There's a globe that's kind of sitting there as kind of like a decoration. A few books have fallen off the walls from the reverberations of the car smashing into the wall nearest. There's like a big old painting that you can kind of see as the headlights splash off of it. It looks like a field of stars. And then there's others hanging on the walls here and there that looks almost like something out of like Renaissance Italy or so. But you get the feeling that you've just stumbled into an actual study, an actual office of some kind. But we're going to go ahead and end your turn there, standing in the doorway. And we're going to come back to the start of the round. And we're going to come back to the car, where closing in on you, there is still one living, and now there's a second one that's joining. For this particular case, who would we say... who do we say went first last time? I think Bev went first. So we'll start with you, Bev. We'll just keep the same order. Bev, you just got shot. The guy who shot you fell, but there is a second guy. Lantern in one hand, gun in the other, firing your direction, firing at the car, nearly took off Marie's head. There's a second guy closing in now as well. And you do hear the sounds of more shouting coming from that carriage house. What do you want to do?
Fuck. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot
you could
the
do
second
that.
guy.
That is part of the themes of this.
Ed's
of
not
this
here.
Adventure.
Okay.
From what I hear, it doesn't matter with Bev.
There's that nectar party
Give that
upstairs.
little-
Is that nectar party? Is that nectar party? Okay.
We'll see. No, I'm gonna
Alright.
I'm gonna shoot this guy.
Okay.
I'm
Go for
gonna
it.
use 2 boosts, please. So 40 is my target number. 61.
You fire, you watch as an explosion of the earth, like some dirt and mud and ground kind of erupts as you catch him right at his feet. He swings the gun over in your direction. And
Well, could I actually spend the... Well, do I want to for this?
It's up to you.
Be 11 or 21. Sorry.
Be
I'm bad.
21 luck if you wanted to spend it to be successful.
Yeah, I'm going to spend the 21.
Okay.
Nice.
Give me your damage. As it hits the ground, but it hits like a stone, and the bullet ricochets up and actually clips him. Go ahead and roll some damage.
D10. Oh my god, 1.
Not
Oh,
that
was
lucky.
me last time.
As you do see like a bit of blood swirl at his shin where the bullet ricocheted up into, but he just winces and he starts firing the gun around. Good.
Instead of hitting him, could it hit his lantern?
Or
no?
You didn't get a crit success or anything.
Okay,
so
fair.
I don't, yeah, this is just a regular success here. So, okay. And next up, I'm going to have one more person go. So I think it was Marie. Was Marie the next one who went? Marie, go ahead. You go. Then he's going to go. And then we'll let Shaima and Johnny finish it off if necessary.
Okay.
Go ahead, Marie.
So I, same as before, shoot at the same one that Bev just shot at.
Okay.
So same thing. I'm going to take 2. So I'm aiming under 40.
Okay.
61.
It's the same situation. You need 21 luck to make that a hit. It's up to you.
If I spend 21, that would drop me down to, I have 39 right now. So,
well, just remember that if you're ever going to need to use the thing that Steven used last week, you need 30 minimum to escape death. So that is a dangerous thing to go under.
It is a dangerous thing to go under, but not shooting these people is also going to be dangerous if we're wanting to be successful here.
You still got Shaima and Johnny to go. So it's not like you don't have any other allies here.
How many people are there outside?
there's going to be basically 2 people firing back at you because there's one that has the lantern and then there's a second one that's limping. He's already taken damage, so he's not coming at you with full health, but he's limping up and he's going to get a shot this round.
Yeah, I'll just leave it that she was a little like this bullet just went right by her and it kind of threw her off. And
the glass just exploded right in front of your face.
Yeah.
All right, so this one's going to fire. Then he's going to fire at one of the 4 people. Again, I'm just going to treat Johnny as 4. Everybody else is going to get their number. He's going to fire at Marie again. I'm sorry, Marie. So this is going to target. So he's going to turn towards you. You just missed. He's going to fire back a 9. He will, in fact, hit. This time, second shot works. That's going to be 6 points of damage, Marie, as he catches you, maybe like in the neck or maybe in the shoulder, and it's a good hit. And you just, and a splurt of blood erupts in the middle of the car. And those of you inside the car see some of the fabric, some of the leather in here is now coated in Marie's blood, some of the windshield and the glass as well. But the other guy is continuing to move up, but Shima and Johnny are going to go first. Shima, you just saw Marie take a shot. There's a guy out here with a lantern still and a second one closing in. What would you like to do?
Shooting the guy that shot Marie.
Absolutely. Go right ahead.
Decision.
Easy.
Can I take 1 boost?
Got it.
Go right ahead, yeah.
Sweet. Sorry, waiting for 24 success.
Absolutely. Roll your damage. I think it's a D8. I think everyone's basically got the same gun, except maybe Pastor.
Yep. 8.
There
what does
you
it
go.
look like as you take this guy out? You describe it. What happens?
I don't think she has it in her to do a headshot.
Okay.
So I think she gets him in the knee and he kind of stumbles and just kind of bleeds out.
And he just drops to the ground. He's like, that way, Shima, it's 2 for 2 for you. And he's very, very impressed as you hear Johnny like kind of slapping the top of the hood of the car in excitement. And then he'll go ahead and he'll try to follow in your lead and fire at the limping guy coming up. And that is not as good as he will miss. But thankfully, he has a high enough. That's not a crit fail. I rolled a 96, but he has over 50 in firearms. So, but he misses. This other guy comes up limping, and he gets a little closer. He shouts something at you guys. Any of you speak Spanish other than Pastor Wood?
No.
I don't think so. Pastor Wood, give me a listen roll. Maybe you hear it. There's a lot going on.
Okay.
Give me a listen roll to see if you hear it.
Would I have like a penalty die?
No, I think it's just straight listens. Fine.
Okay. It's a failure. 65 over 50.
Yeah, it's so weird. You can't quite make out exactly what it is. It just said something about like you recognize like black, something of like the black man taketh you or something. It was some weird kind of threat that you think, but it's hard to tell. It was hard to piece it together. It's behind you. You're busy with other things. He is going to then fire his gun at somebody in the car. This time it's going to be Shima. Shima, you take a shot now, as you've killed 2, so that makes perfect sense. Yep, that's a 16, so that's a hit. Shima, you're going to take 3 points of damage as you actually take a shot as this car is getting lit up. You hear ting ting as bullets kind of clink off and then they hit here and there. Now let's check in Yelps. Now there's just the one now outside who is called G3, if you're curious. He used to have designs on being an Olympic runner, but then Patrick completely ruined those dreams by cutting his leg. Now,
it's actually a Pastor Wood that did that.
Was it Pastor? My bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
You gave him credit for it earlier too. It broke my heart.
I'm sorry. I've come to realize I'm a terrible GM. I apologize. I suck at this. All right.
Thank you for being honest, Long. I appreciate that.
I saw him grin when I said it, so I felt I had gotten it right, and so it was really.
No, he grinned because he saw me sad.
Okay. Pastor Wood, you are inside this jungle of a conservatory with all sorts of these strange-looking plants. What do you want to do? You see Patrick Price has already knocked the door down, but you also hear gunfire behind you. Paulie is waiting on you to figure out what you're doing. He's following your lead. What do you want to do?
I'm following Patrick. I think we need to push in. I trust Shima and Johnny and the others to take care of the guards out there.
Okay. The two of you, are you going to push in here to the study? Polly will follow you. I'll give you some greater description. So, as you come in, you can tell right off the bat that there is something very off about this room. Just stepping into it, you feel uncomfortable. It's a stench, it's a feeling, it's an aura, whatever it might be, but you can feel your hairs kind of standing up on your necks. You can feel something strange in your guts, just some level of discomfort. You look around and you're quite certain this is the books you're seeing are, some of them, hideous to look at. You pass by one and you're pretty sure that's not leather. That is something else that is binding those pages together. You can see that there is a sofa. Like I said, there is several paintings on the wall. One is a field of stars. One is this lush garden. A couple look to be like almost like Monet style depictions of like people walking along a road. You can see that there is a very large and grandiose desk as well. And in addition to what looks like dozens and dozens and dozens of books, there are, in one place, there's like a stacked copy of maybe film, maybe audio recordings, or like tins of some kind. That's what you guys see here. You also see a door leading out of here. But as far as you can tell, there's no one in here. What do you want to do? Both of you guys can go at the same time, whatever you want to do.
I don't think Pastor would be planning on searching anything yet without clearing the house. So I think he would move on to the door and look out.
Okay. You go up to the door. The door is locked. Actually, wait, no, this is the interior door. Since this is the interior door... No, this one isn't. I'm sorry. I apologize. The door opens and it swings in. Do you go through it?
I look out at first and shoot anyone I see, and then I go through it. Okay.
So let me roll a quick check, a couple checks. First, you don't see anybody. As you push the door open, you don't see anyone. I'm assuming you have a flashlight or something on you at this point, as the headlights are probably no longer going to give you a whole lot of light. There's a very dim lantern or two, but you open up onto what looks like a very grand room, and the ground itself, like the floor, looks to be like this very nice looking tile. As you step onto it, it certainly feels like it's not the type of tile that you would put in like a kitchen or would you put in a bathroom. It almost feels like you're stepping into like a ballroom. Like this is a place where, where celebration might be had. But as you take a step or two, it kind of sticks in some way. Like you feel your shoes, your soles just kind of stick to it as you take a step or two into it. It's definitely like reconfigured in some place, and you can see that scattered around along the on the outskirts, or there's couches, there's overstuffed chairs, there's these tall potted plants, all those types of things. You can see that there is this very large and faded mural where you can see almost like mythical divine figures engaged in drink and debauchery. You can see the light, the very dim light you get is from the chandelier that's hanging overhead. The air is very, very thick. There is a smell of smoke maybe, and you can hear, as you start to tune out the chaos from outside, music. But it's not coming from in here. What would you like to do?
When you say the floor is like sticking, am I at risk of getting caught?
It's not that bad, but you just feel that squeak as you kind of pull your soles off. You're not as quiet as you would like to be as you take a step or two.
Okay. I think I would try to cross to the nearest doorway.
Okay, so in terms of the closest doors, as you push in, you realize to your right immediately there is what looks like a doorway entrance, but as you peek in, you can clearly see it's a bath of some kind, bathroom. But then as you push just past that, you look to your right, you can see the grand entrance to the house. You can see these two staircases that come up over top of your head, right? So they would be above you, the ceiling above you. They would kind of lead to. Off to your left, you can see like there's what you think is likely like the back entrance that you saw before. There are a couple times you saw like a back patio entrance. You're pretty sure that's to your left. And then straight ahead, you can see, as you flash the light, it looks like a what you would imagine is probably like a formal dining room. It's hard to see from where you're at, as you're on the complete opposite side of a very large grand ballroom, but you think you see a table. It doesn't look like it's currently being used as such, but there is a table over there.
I don't know how far I can get, but my goal would be to open the front doors then to allow
Okay.
the rest of the group to get in easier.
As you turn to the right, you walk in the direction of like the foyer. You hear the sounds of the music playing. I'll give you an option. Do you do this with your, do you try to take in extra things with your eyes, or do you try to take in extra things with your ears? So spot hidden or listen, basically.
I think spot hidden would be what my go-to. I've fired too many guns to be a good listener.
Okay, go ahead. Give me that spot hidden roll.
It's very logic there.
Mm-hmm.
I needed an 88. I rolled a 93. I'll spend the 5 luck. I am so close to being out of luck. Spend the 5 luck to make it a success.
Couple things you notice. First of all, on the left-hand side, as you approach the grand doors to enter in, and there's staircases on either side. It's a grand staircase, comes up underneath the one on the left. You do see a small. It's not hidden, but there's not a lot of light. You might not have seen it if you hadn't looked closely. There is a door. You would guess it's probably a basement entrance or something like that, or a wine cellar or something along those terms. Then as you start to get closer to the main door itself, you see in the ornate carving in the wood, it's moving. You shine your light and you see this rolling tongue that is almost about like a foot long as it unfurls from what looks like a hand knocker, but is in fact one of these mouths, and it's dripping this bile to the ground. And as it does, you hear in that similar language to those that you fought on the road in Savannah, and as it seems to extort in your direction, you're going to need to make, as you do so, a sand test for me, please.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
15 under 55.
Excellent. You're still going to take 1 point of sand loss. However, it's a good thing that you didn't fail. Okay. As you can feel yourself kind of start to be affected by whatever it was saying. Like you're not even sure what it was saying, but like your hands and your arms kind of shifted and moved. You felt these weird instincts to do things that you're not accustomed to, but you keep yourself together. Do you still want to push forward and kick the door open?
Well, now I want to shoot the door.
Okay. Go ahead. I'll let you shoot the door, and then we're going to jump to Patrick Price at this point.
That is where the mouth is, right? On the door knocker, you said?
Directly on the door. Is on the door
Yeah,
itself.
that's what I
It
want
looks like there's this ornate, beautiful, kind of ugly carving at the same time, and it seemed to have been kind of camouflaged within it.
That's a success for 9 damage.
9 damage. You shoot it, but that is actually not enough to kill it. As you see the tongue burst, but as it does, you watch growing out from where you had exploded it, there are 3 more, thinner, that begin to unfurl. And once more, Patrick, your turn. What do you do?
I would have followed Pastor Wood, watched his 6.
Okay, so as you come up, if you're here, I need you to make that sand roll then, because you can hear it. Give me that sand. Okay.
Over 40,
So,
I failed.
Patrick, you are going to
He
take
said not
3
to fail
points.
that one.
This is bad. You're going to take 3 points of sand loss. And whereas
Yep.
Pastor Wood was just feeling this sense of like something else taking over you, Patrick, your mind begins to kind of revert in some way to something animalistic. Like you feel this sudden desire to just... Pastor, you look off to your side and you can see Patrick is like he's a dog that's kind of confused, and suddenly Patrick leans back and howls at the ceiling. Now, Patrick, you have what's going to essentially affect you here is that you feel this descent into animalistic behavior, and that's what it wants you to do. Like, it wants you to do these types of things. However, you can spend 15 points of luck or 1 point of sand, permanent, to restrain yourself and kind of force yourself from sort of delving into that animalistic behavior. It's your call.
You said 1 sand permanent?
1 sand. But it's only going to be, so for each point of sand or each 15 chunks of luck, you get 2 minutes where you get to act like yourself. As there is a time for how long this effect is going to last, which I'm not going to tell you.
Okay. I'll go ahead and spend. Do I just spend it as it happens, or
just spend it right now?
Right now.
And so we'll say that as you lean back to how you comport yourself, and you don't, you're like, but you did feel this weird, just reversion to something that made no sense. And you can still hear like a slightly different tone now with the tongue exploded. The face on the door is still trying to communicate with you in some way. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I'll spend the 1 sand to repress it.
Okay, so then you can take an action. What do you want to do then?
I'll follow on Pastor Wood here. I'll cut at the door.
Because you run up and you try to stab into it, try to finish it off. Go right ahead. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm just going to try to dodge as I can. These things can kind of move, sort of. Yeah, that's a fail.
Oh, God. I got a 98 over 50.
You stab, and the thing, shockingly, shifts. It doesn't move, but you can see it just seems to shift. And as if the carving in the wood also just undulates slightly. And as you stab, you realize you're kind of stabbing more into its shadow, or like this dripping residue of the tongue that Pastor Wood had exploded. The two of you, however, are inside the house. A gun has now gone off. You're holding back this strange feeling, Patrick Price. We go back outside. Back outside, there is a limping man who is shouting something in Spanish that unfortunately no one can understand. I'm going to go back to Bev to lead us off. Bev, what do you do?
Are you shooting?
Bev?
Since my last time with that, like anyone running at me in like a threatening manner with a gun, like, because being held hostage, she's just gonna shoot. Like, that's
okay.
I think
Absolutely. I think that's fair.
kind of where she's at.
I would have dropped down to 11 sanity spent total now, if that does anything.
Is it your daily? Is that your daily expenditure?
Does that reset?
It does, but it hasn't reset for you guys yet today. So
okay.
you
It wasn't
definitely
today, then.
don't want to hit that.
I haven't been resetting it. If that's what we're supposed to do.
Okay. Trying to think. I doubt you would have lost 11 today.
No, there's no way.
Yeah, I don't think you would have lost 11 because it would have been the time when you first
I know
got
he took
here.
some with the shrubs.
Let's just cut it in half. We'll say you're at like 6 after your expenditure. We'll put you there. And okay, because I don't think 11 doesn't sound. I don't think you lost that much because it was Marie who went lunatic. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Bev. Fire away.
2 boosts, please, Mo.
Got it.
43. I'm gonna spend the 2 luck to
Okay.
hit,
Cool. Roll your damage.
and then 8.
Describe your kill. He had 7 HP left, so that 8's going to kill him. Describe what it looks like, Bev.
I think at this point, because she's looking at the other guy, and I don't know which way this guy's coming from, but she just
From the carriage house.
swivels and to face this guy, and I think she gets him kind of like in the like collarbone throat area. And as he's shouting, it silences him, and then he just starts to gurgle before he falls.
Okay. So as he's on the ground, you just hear one last phrase, and then the spit rips up. The lantern of the other guy fell, and you just see like the silhouette of the blood popping up out of his mouth and then dropping back down. And for the moment, there are no additional targets that you can see. You know that the truck has crashed in the conservatory. You would know from Patrick and Pastor Wood already debriefing you that carriage house seemed to be where a lot of these guards were located. In terms of the amount that have been killed. You're pretty sure you're at 4 guaranteed kills at this point. 1, maybe more. You're not sure about the 5th because you know for a fact that Pastor Wood and Patrick killed 1, possibly killed a 2nd, and you guys have just killed 3.
I think at this point, as long as no one else is rushing us, I think Bev's concern would be to go inside and kind of start grabbing whatever we need to grab if there's anything, depending on where we are in the house.
Okay. You turn and you start running inside. Marie, Shima, Johnny, we don't have to be in specific order. You can do this all at once. What do the 3 of you do?
I would say that Marie remembers where she was before, and one of our aims is to get Bookvold, so that's where she would be trying to kind of...
That was what Shima wanted to do as well.
All right.
Yeah.
Was to take Johnny to Bookvold.
The 3 of you push in through the hole now made by the truck smashing into the conservatory. You step over some glass. You push past some very heavy, strange, exotic-looking plants. You hear the sounds of gunfire from inside. You step through the door. You see also on the hood of the vehicle this hideous corpse, a tongue lolled out, dripping acid, the metal in the paint job itself beginning to peel back in some fashion. And all of you step into that study. You can see the doors open up ahead. That's through there is where you heard the gunshot. And you can see all around you, all these books, these paintings, the desks, all this different stuff. Each of you feels like this clear sense of something is not quite right. And you also hear the vague sounds of music playing somewhere. What do you want to do?
Beverly's going to start just raiding this room with anything that she thinks might be useful. Maybe throwing it into the back seat of the truck. There
are literally hundreds of books in here. So it would take
She's gonna
some
start
time to
targeting.
discern it.
Yeah.
Do you want to look through this while we go get Bookvold? It doesn't look like there's anyone here right now.
I'll scream if I need to, but yeah. That might be best. And yeah.
Okay. So Marie, you're going forward. You're pushing further in. Shima, what are you doing?
Going to Bookvold.
Okay. So Johnny will stick with you then.
Johnny to Bookvold with Marie.
Okay. So Beverly staying back, inside the study by herself, and then the rest of you are pushing further in. Marie, Shima, Johnny. As you push in, you can see there's Pastor Wood, there's Patrick Price, and behind them is Paulie, and they're like firing and stabbing at the front door to this actual place. And now we'll go back to Pastor Wood and Patrick Price. It's your turns, Pastor Wood. What do you want to do?
I want to kill this thing.
Yeah. If you don't, it's going to get another chance to do something.
That is a success. 43 under 85. Damage is 7.
And it explodes. And you see that it doesn't quite damage the door, which is heavy duty. So maybe a splinter or two, but it doesn't like create a hole to the outside. But it does kind of explode near Patrick's face. Fortunately, it doesn't actually harm him in any particular way. Doesn't change the fact that you still feel that strange feeling pushing at you, Patrick. You look back, you can see Marie, you can see Shima, you can see Johnny. Everyone is now inside this big entry area. Marie, you recognize it. Obviously, you were under some sanity issues when you were last here, but you recognize the front door. You recognize the stairs. You know going up, that's where Bookvold was. At least if you were right about it being Bookvold. What do you guys want to do?
Marie's going to yell to Paulie. Paulie, Bev is looking through stuff.
What's that?
You protect her. You protect her.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. No problem. No problem. Be careful of the mouse. Fucking Johnny, this fucking mouse. They just like fucking.
I told you.
It's all right.
I told you.
Shut up. Just keep an eye on Bev, all right?
Upstairs.
All right?
Upstairs. That's where I was. Upstairs.
So Paulie comes back in. Bev, you're going through some of the shelves, looking through some things, and he's like, "Hey, how you doing? Okay. A couple of you are going upstairs. I love Paulie. Hey, doing Paulie? Nice to meet you. Hey, you good looking doll.
I want to tell you, you got a nice smile.
Going upstairs with them and reloading on the way.
All right. So the group of you are heading upstairs. Is anybody, and in that group, is anyone doing anything different? Is it just maybe half of you go up one side of the stairs, the other half go up the other, and you meet at the top? Or are you doing something different?
Split is good.
Yep.
Okay.
The music's not coming from the basement, is it?
Roll a listen test. Actually, no. You wouldn't.
I'm not out there.
You're in
Never mind.
the office. You're in the office. Okay. Anyone else can do that if they want.
Yeah, I had a similar question, so I
give it a rip, Shaima.
Yeah, I'll listen too.
Yeah, that's fine. Go right ahead.
That's a fail.
Okay.
17 under 56. Success for Marie.
Two things, Marie. First of all, you recognize the song. It's the same song that was playing inside of the flop house yesterday or this morning. So you definitely recognize it. It's that same classical music, Spanish guitar, woman singing in Spanish over top of it. It's very faint. You don't think it's coming from upstairs, though, which means it's probably coming from downstairs.
Freaking music, the same music that we heard earlier today. It's not. And then she's going upstairs, and so it's like as we go upstairs, it's getting fainter. So we might need to head downstairs later. But over here, this is. I think. Yep, the doors. Yep, I think this is the room that I was in. As she kind of goes upstairs and goes down the hall.
As all of you run upstairs, with the exception of Bev and Polly, as you get upstairs, Marie, you do start to see some familiar place. You said it's sort of like a hall, but there's also like this mini private dining room that you peeked in. There's a door that's open. You still haven't encountered resistance. You go down one small hall, and you do see that kind of suite where you had been kept. You look down, and first couple things are different. The revelers are not here any longer, and then you do see that Abraham Bookvold, and I would say those of you who have seen him, so Patrick, is there in his chair. It looks like he's even in worse state with him when you last saw him. They've kind of taken a few hits to him some more, and he's seemingly unconscious. His face is swollen up like a grape, but you recognize him from before, Marie, and as you get closer, Patrick, you recognize him from when you and Bev interrogated him. What you guys want to do?
I'll unbind him and give him a lift over my shoulder.
Okay, so you get him up underneath, and you hear him kind of stir, but he can't quite make it out. Like, his face is so swollen, he's missing teeth. You can see his mouth has been like just bashed, his cheeks and his face. You're pretty sure he has a couple fractures. He's in really bad shape, but he's slightly kind of coming and going from consciousness, but you have him. I would say Patrick, as you go to get him, one other thing, you hear from a neighboring room. It's the room that Marie, you were in, with the bed. You hear, and that's it. What do you guys want to do?
Patrick, you get him to the library with Bev. We'll keep pushing for Walker.
I'll catch up.
Okay.
No, don't go that way. Don't go that way. Let's find the music. Let's find the music.
Okay.
And so Marie's gonna go downstairs.
So you want to run back downstairs. From what you can tell, I would say, for anybody who wants to try to get a sense of what's up here, this is the second floor of a very large mansion. Patrick, you did see a balcony where Trammell was masturbating. You get the sense there's probably a lot of bedrooms up here. This is probably the feeling you're getting. So you can see that there's kind of like two wings to the house. There's like the eastern wing, which is above the conservatory. And then that was kind of where you saw him, was above that. And then there's the western wing, which is more like above the kitchen, which, if anybody knows anything, more than likely they could be like servants' quarters and things or something up there. Like probably a private staircase down to the kitchen. So
I think
where do you guys
Pastor would still like to search the rooms while we're up here. Not like thoroughly going through everything, but at least opening the doors and seeing that no one's in there.
Gotcha. Okay. And Patrick, you're taking Abraham down to the library. Marie, Shima, Johnny, what are you guys doing?
I think Marie would see past her. She was about to run downstairs, and then she sees past her, sort of doing like a bit of a search. And oh, yeah, right. That's probably a better idea. So she'll check not the room that she was already in, but she'll check the other rooms.
Okay. All right. What about you, Shima? What are you and Johnny doing? He's sticking with you.
Shima is going to go with Marie to check the room. She's not going by herself.
Okay,
We
so
wanted to walk her.
So Pastor Wood goes off by himself, it sounds like then, as Marie, Shima, and Johnny go off, and you guys are all basically searching the second story as Patrick takes the guy down. I'll tell you this, why don't you all just give me a spot hidden, and I'll say if you guys see anything, as you just start spreading out and going from room to room, opening up a door, looking quickly, closing the door, opening up a door, looking quickly, that kind of thing.
Extreme success, 6 under 88.
Nice.
Okay.
Wow.
34 under 78.
Okay, very nice, very nice.
55 under 67.
Okay, so we'll say, Pastor Wood, you, maybe because you were kind of around when Patrick saw him doing, maybe you push off in the direction of where he last saw Trammel. And when you push open, you see a master's suite, a master's chamber. And it is like a shrine to hedonism in here. Like, it is absolutely unnerving. There is a couple candles that are lit. You can see that they're behind what looks like some kind of glass casing. But there are mirrors on the walls, on the ceiling. You can see that they're chipped and cracked in various places. The air is filled with this hideous sweat, but also like this strange perfume over top of it that just kind of starts to get in your nose a bit here and there. You notice there are a few connecting rooms. One of them closet, one of them bathroom, another one bedroom. And as you're looking around these mirrors, you notice that there is like a wardrobe that seems to be centered within the frame of one of them. And you see the door is like creeping open. And as it does so, you hear, and you see hanging from the door as it swings open is another one of these mouths. What do you want to do? Pastor Wood.
How far away is it?
Like 10 feet at most.
I know it can spit stuff at me, like if it's similar to the plant, right?
It can do things.
I want to run to the candles.
Okay.
And I want to set the room on fire, like put them on the bedding or something.
Absolutely. That's not an issue. Sure. Okay. So you start doing that, and you just hear...
Keeping an eye on that, trying to...
Okay. The door is like slowly swinging open.
Too.
Marie and Shima and Johnny, you all are together. You push through Marie through that small dining room you saw. You can see that, again, it's not a gigantic table, but it's decently sized. You can see that there's like that one like overturned chair. There's a mural on the side of the wall that it kind of seems to just be like this almost pornographic like orgy that seems to be transpiring between various divine figures, farm animals, and you can see in that picture there is like the mouth of what appears to be some kind of donkey or a mule that is suddenly moving as it starts to open up. Marie, Shima, and Johnny all need to roll a sand test.
Oh, gosh.
All right.
43 under 50.
Successful in 11.
All right. So Shima, Marie, and Johnny, you all take 1 point of sand loss because Marie, you're okay. Never mind. You've already seen these. It's just Shima then. First time seeing a living one. So it's 1 point for you, 1 point for Johnny. Okay. And that's all you see in this particular room. You do hear the sounds of voices, though, coming from down the hall, probably in the direction of what you think might be the servants' wing. But that's about it. Down in the office, we see Patrick Price. You lead this. You lead him in, plop them down maybe on a sofa or something like that. And there's Polly, there's Beverly. You look around the room, Patrick. Beverly's already starting to go through some books and things. You're just kind of grabbing stuff as best you can. Some of them are just like you grab them and it just feels like hideous. And so you're just pulling whatever you can. You also, if you recall, I think you actually had an inventory of some of the books.
I did.
So maybe part of that is you kind of grabbing that. Patrick, you do notice that as you come in, Paulie is like trying to like pull at the desk a bit because he's like the freaking drawers are locked. Who locks drawers? Who locks drawers? And he's like hitting it here and there. And it's like there's got to be something in here. There's got to be like records in here. There's got to be contacts in here. Give me a hand, would you?
Yeah, this is Bookworld.
God.
Let me take a look.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God, that is ugly son of a bitch. I've seen Catcher's mitts and they're in better condition than that.
So Patrick, you have two choices. You can do a locksmith, you could do a strength. But if you do a strength, you do risk perhaps breaking something on the inside.
I'll go with my locksmith here.
Okay. Give it a
Always
go.
goes
Never
well.
passed one of these. Never.
One of these days.
Now is the perfect time.
I do, but it's always pushed. There we go.
Look at this guy.
628.
So
Hell
clutch.
yes.
So clutch.
Nice.
My hero.
Okay. As you open it up, you see, as you start going through picking, he's pulling some stuff out and you're dumping this, dumping that. He's just pulling them straight out and dumping stuff over and going through things here and there. You find something, Patrick. You grab a tome, which is a very generous use of the term. It is really just like this thick sheath of papers and folios kind of smashed together, bound by twine, rubber bands, things like that. It's just like this chunk of something. And as you kind of peek a little bit here and there, like the pages are just soaked here and there with like stains of something. But as you're holding on to it, you realize like whatever is wrapped around and binding this, it's giving you the feeling of something more fibrous, something almost organic, like it's skin of some kind, but you have it nonetheless, and he had kept it locked away and tucked away within this drawer.
You're going to want this one Dr. Key out of terror pile.
Okay. As both of you take a look at this thing, you realize there is skin wrapped around it. I need both of you to roll a sand test, in fact, just by sheerly looking at this thing. As you pull it out, oh God. And then you see the various like bodily fluid stains all over it.
17 over 53.
89.
Okay, 1 for Bev, and then for Patrick, 1 for Patrick. Bad roll. Okay. All right. And Patrick, it's at this point, as you're looking at that and you're kind of shaking, you start feeling yourself. What
the fuck is wrong with you? Oh my God. What's wrong with this guy?
I'll suppress it with one sand again.
Okay, take another point of sand loss. Just be careful. All right.
Sorry about that. Feeling a little weird.
Yeah, this place gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Okay. Anything else that you guys want to do in here before I check upstairs with them?
I would like to take the paintings down and like
they're big paintings. These aren't like little tiny ones. These are like a good like 5 wide by like
rip them
3
out of the
high, 4
frame
high.
and roll them.
Okay. It's up to you, Ashley. You tell me what Bev wants to do. Does Bev want to go through and look for the books on the hundreds of shelves for the titles that you're finding, or do you want to kind of go and do that? Or do you want to just task Polly with doing something? Because I'm talking like we're going fast here. Like
Bev would do
we're
books
on a
then,
minute by minute.
100%.
Okay.
And then maybe she would ask Polly to grab those.
Okay.
Or yeah, like if one of them seems more important or anything? Like, because she knows the stars. I think that's like the one she would be interested in per like some of the titles that we've had.
Okay. Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you just tell him, and he's like, all right, fine. I'll
Do
take
you have
your
any
fucking paintings.
alcohol, Polly?
Do I have any alcohol?
Yeah.
Lady, we're invading some freaking drug kingpin. You think I'm bringing booze? There's some right over there. Go drink that stuff right there.
And he points over, and there's a wet bar right there with a whole thing of booze right over there.
After she's done getting the books on her list, I think the rest.
Right. I think I need to stay at this. Like, there's literally hundreds of books, so it's like this is all like minute by minute. Like so it's just like a quick thing that you're doing. Like you just tell me if there's something quick you're doing.
Yeah. No. Just she's going for the books.
Okay, so you're just pulling, and you are finding as you are dedicating time to pulling books off. You're seeing stuff. You're seeing names from that list, like, yep, that's one, and that's one, and then that's one, and then that's one, and like you're just seeing it, and you're like kind of just tossing it down. Paulie's coming over, and he's like got this knife switchblade. He's kind of cutting around it, and like, yeah, these probably going to sell pretty good. This is a really good idea, Doc. I'm going to probably get so much money from selling these. Oh my goodness, Patrick, you're kind of sifting through some of the stuff that you got when you kind of went through the desk. Upstairs, Pastor Wood, you have set the bedroom on fire. Anything else you want to do? There's no one in here.
I'd like to try and carefully get behind that cabinet or closet or whatever and slam it shut so that the mouth isn't facing out.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's fine. I don't think there's even really a roll. You'll just sneak over and slam it shut, and it does. It kind of clicks. You do hear like the echoing, like these weird kind of long vowels, one after the other, and oh, you, and oh, you, and oh, you, over and over. Okay. All right. Cutting over, Marie, Shaima, Johnny, you're in this, you see this, like in the painting, this mouth start to form and where the donkey's mouth is, and this weird, disgusting orgy that you see on the mural of a dining room, no less. What do you guys do?
Everyone wants to get the fuck out of here as soon as possible, so she is hightailing it to find Walker, because once we can do that, we can leave. She is leaving the room and just methodically and quickly just like, is he in here? Nope. In here? Okay. Nope.
Perfect. So, and Johnny will follow you. So if you look in, you just shut the door in the dining room, kind of follow some of the voices. We'll say that you find on the western side up here, you can see that there's a series of like these fairly stark looking, not bearing any of the opulence of anywhere else in the house, these different servant rooms here and there. One or two of them, you can see there's somebody kind of huddling and hiding. Like you can see they're just like hiding in the shadows as they're in here. When you push open and pass through, some of them are bedrooms, some of them are like bath, storage, etc. You don't see anyone in here that strikes you as anything other than a servant. Like you see a woman in a nightgown that's probably in her 50s or 60s. You see a man also in kind of like this sleeping wear. The two of them just kind of huddling in the corner, and they're just kind of looking up at you. What do you do?
Walker, which one of you is Walker?
And they just kind of shake their heads.
She looks over at Johnny and like, do we take them? I don't know what he looks like.
I don't know what he looks like either. No one's freaking met him. He's like a freaking ghost out there.
What did you find? Oh,
two people. There's two people in here.
Well, I haven't seen him, but I don't think that's either one of them. And so Marie will, Pastor.
We're on the other side of the house, right?
Yeah, you're on like the other wing. So like at a certain point, you realize like he's not immediately responding.
Who is everyone downstairs? She's going to ask the people. Like, is everyone downstairs?
I don't know.
The people are just shaking their heads. they're not saying anything.
And she'll just kind of hold her hands up.
They hold it. They just like they're not even looking at you. They're looking away and just shaking their heads.
Shama's gonna go up to them and kind of get them to stand up and sort of march them out and continue searching and taking them with us.
The minute
Marie
you get
will
close,
look behind them
the
and just
man
see. Okay.
will take a knife and will jab it right into Shima if you get close to him. And so that's what he's going to do.
That's why you can't be a good person. I'm ethically against being a good person.
From their perspective,
Yeah,
you've
they don't
broken
know.
into their house, set
We've
it on
got
fire.
I'm
firing
not
up.
pushing back on
Yeah.
this. I think it's
That's a 19 to hit. D4
Can I try to dodge?
Yeah, absolutely. Go right ahead. Actually, no, I don't think you can actually because you didn't know it was happening. You came up. I'm going to say this is more like a surprise. Yeah, it's still only going to be 3 points of damage, but he will just lunge out with the knife and kind of stab into you. Kind of surprised as you reach down, you're like kind of getting the gun. They're like, no. And like he does it in like a, oh, what the fuck kind of way. And it's at that point that Johnny starts blasting. So Johnny will fire his gun. Where'd my other die go? There it is. And of course, Johnny hits. That's a 40. And then Johnny will fire his bullets. He'll do 6 points of damage. The guy takes a shot right in the chest, doesn't immediately kill him, but he kind of crumples down at this point, and blood's just kind of splurting out of it. You see the woman now falls down on top and is just kind of holding her hands over top of the wound on his chest. Johnny then turns the gun like it's like right next to the woman's head.
They don't know anything. They don't know anything.
Wheels around.
They don't. What? They don't know anything. Just go. Just keep looking. Just keep looking.
If that's him, we got him. If that's him, we got him. Let's keep looking.
Marie, make a test if you want to try to stop him from shooting and pulling a bullet right in this woman's head. What do you want to roll?
Persuade. 72 under 73.
Hell yes.
He looks up at you. You a little soft for this. And then he like flips the gun around in his hand and smashes her on the back of the head, and she collapses down on top of the guy. All right, let's go. And he kind of, at that point, turns on and starts following Shima. And you keep looking, servant room, and there's nothing else over here. All right. Pastor Wood, you close the door. The room's on fire. What do you want to do?
Very quickly going through like drawers and nightstands, stuff like that. Not even reaching into anything, just visually looking and then moving on. If like there doesn't seem to be like I'd want like a notebook or a journal or something like that. I don't really care about much else.
You've actually not really found anything like that in his bedroom. You've really just found like clothes and that type of thing. You haven't really found anything to suggest that this is a place where he does much reading or writing. You did pass a study, so you know he has like a writing desk, and he's got a study where he probably does more of his reading and then whatever work he has. But most everything you see in here is more in line with, some of them are fancy looking clothes hanging from various places, not just in the wardrobe or the closet, like literally just hanging off the side of a dresser. You start pulling through some drawers, you find various like what looks like these creams, these tonics, these perfumes, all sorts of fancy, extravagant looking silk. Some of it, as you pick it up, you realize is crusty. Others is wet and soggy. And then you see that there's other things that looks like rope for binding, handcuffs, stuff like that all around. It's just a hideous
I figured as much. I just wanted to do the due diligence and then get out of there. So I'm good to leave.
And we'll say at a certain point, all of you maybe meet up again, second floor. You see each other. You've cleared out either wing. No one has seen anybody other than those two servants that you saw before.
And Marie would grab Pastor as soon as he kind of shows himself. Come over here. Do you recognize these? Come here. And so she'll kind of bring Pastor over to the woman and the gentleman. Does that look like someone that you saw earlier?
Does not. No. The woman you actually did see dumping something out the back of the kitchen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She's some sort of servant.
Oh, and so
why would she be Captain Walker?
Not her, him. And she has no patience. Just him.
No, I've never seen him before. That's not the man who answered the door.
Okay. All right. Then are we done up here? Are we doing anything else up here? Did you start a fire?
Possibly. We should go downstairs.
Oh, that's a good idea. There's a painting in that room that we should probably burn. It's not. Do you still have a candle in you?
It'll burn.
Okay. All right. Come on, Shima. Let's.
Shima's already out. Like looking at the next rooms.
Okay. Well, I would say you have at this point cleared the second story. So it's really just whether or not you guys want to retreat down to the first floor again. But yeah, you've certainly cleaned the list out. You looked over everything. All right. But
yeah.
Back in the study, Beverly, you've gone through. You found Adrift in a Storm-Tossed Sky. You found Azathoth and Other Horrors. You found the Broken Ouroboros of Atu. I'll give you a list. Don't worry. You found the last of the first, the ends of occult dynasties. You found Lights in My Eyes. You found Lights in Their Eyes. All of these different books that you saw on that list from the auction house. You're just pulling each one of these off one after the other. You find some kind of, maybe you have a bag with you, maybe it's a rucksack, whatever. Maybe there's something in the truck, but whatever it might be, you've been pulling these things off. Meanwhile, this whole time, Paulie has been, as best he can, cutting up some of these paintings and kind of rolling them up. And then Patrick, you tossed over this, whatever the hell it's a book, but to use that term is kind of an insult to books, but you handed it over. You also found a handful of these small little black books. You flip through them, you see their contact information, not unlike what you saw in the accounting book. Probably the type of thing that you would want to hand over to Akone or one of Akone's guys. You can see different people he contacts here and there, that kind of such. You do hear at a certain point the sounds of as your friends come down the stairs. You hear the sounds of their footsteps. You still hear the vague, distant music being played. We'll say for a moment, all of you that came down from the stairs, or you're in the ballroom, you're right outside the door into the library. You can see each other. The smell of smoke, the sound of that music. You still haven't seen somebody that you think is Trammell. You still haven't seen somebody that you know is Walker. What would you like to do?
Music is coming from downstairs. I think that's where we need to go.
The basement. I'll take the lead.
Okay.
Did I get everything off my list?
I'll say you got it. Yeah, you got everything off the book. There's still other books in here, but these are the ones that were listed on the auction services inventory.
Should I keep grabbing, or do you want me to come along?
I think if you got, we may need the numbers. We may need the numbers.
Okay.
Okay. You slowly open the door underneath the grand staircase, and you find the stairs going down. As you get down there, you realize you're in a very cooled, tile-lined chamber. You can see that there are couches, chairs sitting around here and there. It has kind of the layout almost of like a private study, like a lounge over here, table over there, very sparse in terms of its furniture. The air is kind of humming in some particular way. There's this cold stone. There's this old leathery smell. Anybody who wants to, feels like they would be doing this, can go ahead and make a spot hidden test as you come through here.
78 under 88.
It's a fail for Shama.
Fail for Marie.
30 pass.
30. 30, very good. Okay.
12 pass. 12.
Nice. I'm gonna give it to the 12. As you guys are getting ready to push through a door that seems to go to a kind of a side room, it almost looks like another section of the cellar. Beverly, you notice that there is a kind of interruption in the paneling on the wall. And you realize there's like there's like an outline over here that almost looks like there is a door, and then you kind of slide a chair off to the side, and there is a hidden door here, right behind one of these kind of chase lounges. What do you want to do?
She'll call it out to the group because she doesn't want to be the first person through. So she'll kind of thinking like a raid breach where she's ready to open it and have someone else there ready with their gun.
Who is that?
I've got a gun ready.
Okay.
Well.
Okay. So Pastor and Shima will be the next ones through. Okay. So make sure I do this right. As you push the door open, as Pastor Wood and Shima push through, you two are first hit by a stench. A just abominable stench of feces, sweat, sex, blood, dust, mold, and it just whoosh, right into your face. When you look out at where this is coming from, you can see that there is this almost muddy tangle of a dozen or more bodies in this. It's like it's sexual, it's physical. They're weaving onto one another, they're clinging to one another. It is horrific to look at. You see there is something worse, however. First, Pastor, you notice amongst this group that's having this just absolutely depraved sexual acts in front of you, you recognize Pierce Patchett, guy you woke up next to in your flop house. Marie, you hear the sound of that song, that classical Spanish guitar, the sound of the woman singing. But Pastor Wood and Shima, you notice something even worse. As you look up, and on one wall of this room, there is a massive mouth that takes up almost the entirety of the room itself. You can see that there are multiple tongues that have rolled out from it and that have wrapped themselves around some of these people. And it seems as participating in the acts that you see in front of you. You can see oozing from its mouth, coating some of the bodies, is this yellow tinted ooze. And as your eyes settle on it, Pastor Wood and Shima, your brains kind of start to uncouple. You don't notice that on either side of the door, there are also armed men who currently are now raising their guns up to the sides of your temples. And that's where we're going to stop for tonight.
No, no. Guns to temples is where we stop.
Be fine. No, everyone's going to be fine. You can dodge that.
Oh my gosh.
Remember when Trinity did this? She's like, dodge this.
If I dodge, does Shima get shot twice then? Like a crossfire?
Oh, no.
Why are you assuming that she's going to get dodged?
Is what we've established.
If you let Shima get shot, do you think Johnny's going to let you live that down, Pastor Wood?
It's Johnny's fault for letting her go in first.
You guys
Oh,
thought
gosh.
that the small mouths were a problem. Now you get to the major mouth. Or minor mouths.
Oh
and major mouths.
gosh.
All right. We'll pick up there next time. And most certainly next time will be the last episode of Los Angeles. And possibly the campaign. We'll find out. We'll find out.
Oh,
Okay.
yikes.
You guys did not get and kill guard 1 or guard 4. They're both still living. And they are.
I was trying to do the math of like which one got hit, which one didn't.
Guard 1 and Guard 4 are still alive. They're still alive, sort of, kind of. They're going to put their kids through college, damn it. They're going to go to Oxford. It's going to be great. One of them's going to go to Miskatonic. They're going to take a class with Beverly. It's going to be wonderful. All right.
Totally not going to be awkward at all.
Totally not. Remember the time you met my parents when you saw them guarding this giant orgy disgusting nest? You remember that? Wasn't that fun times? Anyhow, when's your office hours? You're like, it's on the syllabus, damn it. Why do you keep asking? All right, let's go ahead and do some closing plugs. Let's get on out of here. Steven, let's just go around. Steven, what's going on with you? You got some fancy new project, I think.
Yeah, I do. I'm working on a Weird West tabletop RPG. Played a session of it this morning with my Trey and a couple other cool people. And some other people on the screen are working on the project too, in various forms and capacities. So it's not just me, of course. It takes a team. But it is a Weird West tabletop RPG, narrative focused, with a fun meta currency called Aces, so you can make your successes better. And there's a link in the chat below. You can click on it and you'll get free digital goodies if you sign up for the email newsletter, and you'll have the quick start sent to you for free when it releases on August 1st.
Fantastic, sir. Fantastic. My Trey, can you tell these good, kind people and all the rest of them that are watching where we can find you on the internet?
I am Maita Plays Games on YouTube, where I make system agnostic multi-system content about tabletops that center the GM and player experience. I'll probably have more time for it now that my character is about to die. So, You'll
be fine. You're going to live forever. You're going to live forever. It's great. It's going to be fine. All right. As for the rest of everything, our next game here on Adventures Lollygagging is going to be Monday. We're going to be playing some Alien RPG. My Trey, Melissa, myself, we're all in that game. Tuesday, Steven, what do we got?
We're back to Perils and Princesses. So we started the session 1. It's already up on YouTube. So you can go watch it on the YouTubes. Give it a thumbs up. Tell us what you like about it in the comments. And then come back and finish the story with us on Tuesday. We're just doing the introductory adventure, so we should wrap it up then, and maybe we'll even end with a wedding if we're lucky.
If we're lucky. That's probably how this session's going to go too. Next week, we'll see.
Oh yeah.
Thursday next week, we're going to be back to Simbaroom. Friday, Warhammer Wrath and Glory, and then Saturday we will see the conclusion of Los Angeles within the Eternal Lies campaign. You can also check out our YouTube page, Adventures Lollygagging. You can see our old games. You can also see our Fragged Empire game. You can see our Delta Green game. Wonderful stuff going on, and all the other games that we played in the past. And then you should also check out our Discord, where you can hang out with all of us fine people. You can talk about the games that we play. You can talk about any game, really. And you can talk about games you want us to see. And, Steven, what else can they do?
Yeah, I keep sending it back to you, and you keep sending it to me, and like we're playing ping pong.
Yeah,
I should have just said it all at once. Why didn't I do that?
I thought this is better. This is better.
Yeah, on the Discord, for the Huckleberry RPG, there's playtests happening. So when you join, you can click on the little cowboy hat. It'll give you a playtest roll. And whenever there's an open event, you can jump in there, and I'll run you through some Weird West goodness, and you can see how it plays. It's entirely free. A lot of people here, all the people here have played it, and a couple of them played a couple times. So who knows? You might get to play with more than just me, which is probably the bigger draw, to be honest.
Oh, I'm not gonna say you're wrong, but I'm gonna say oh. Anyhow,
that's all I needed. All I needed was
thank you to our Raiders tonight, Tales of Myth and Mayhem, Fablemancers, and Mettee, Mettee, I think. Go ahead and give their channels a look. Throw them a follow. Thank you so much. We're gonna pay that raid forward. We're gonna raid our friends over at Lost Caravan RPG. Follow the raid with us. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see y'all later. Bye bye.
I'll be seeing you.